All right, folks, and we've got the YouTube issue figured out, and we are live now both on YouTube and Mixler.com. I want to thank everybody for joining us here on the Show, Miller's Mowing. If your field isn't game day ready, give them a call, 607-302-8226. We already talked about Noah Rubino coming in. He'll be starting the game for the Elmira Pioneers. He's got a 1.33 ERA, 1 win, 1 loss, 5 games, all of them starts, 27 innings pitched, only 21 hits allowed, 7 runs, 4 of them earned, 11 bases on balls, 29 strikeouts, and he's faced 110 batters. So it's been a strong start for Rubino. Again, the issues for Rubino has more been the bullpen than anything else. Josh LaJoy will start things off for the Watertown Rapids. Rapids have not found a lot of success against the Pioneers. The Pioneers really have done a number on them up here at Alex T. Duffy Fairgrounds. LaJoy, 3.60 ERA, 1 win, 1 game he's appeared in, and he started that game. He's pitched 5 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned, 3 bases on balls, and 5 strikeouts. So, Pioneers will have a difficult time here getting things started as they will be the first ones up to the dish. Of course, the Pioneers lineup going to look relatively similar to what we saw last night. Mejia to lead off, Brody Moore, Preston Moore, Mason Ruhlman, Garrett Schultz, Trey Harmon, Trevor Henneman, Bryce Moskowitz, and Quinn Buffington will round things out here for the Elmira Pioneers on the road as Noah Rubino gets the start. On the other side for the Watertown Rapids, Dylan Sanchez out in right, George Rosales back at catcher, Drake Smith playing short, James Crick playing first base, Vinny DeRubius playing left field, Tony Sochi, designated hitting, Jonathan Catapano plays center, Danny DeMarco playing third, Brandon Taylor at second base, and Josh LaJoy. As we just talked about, will be pitching. The Pioneers looking to extend a winning streak that now sits at 1 game. The Pioneers really quite a victory last night as they came out and certainly didn't stumble as they continued to work as hard as they could and pulled it out in the bottom of the 9th inning despite some pitching rough times there. You've seen the bullpen throughout this season really have trouble scoring, have trouble putting things away and finding that pitch to get them out of the inning. But so far, the Pioneers' bats here in the later part of this season. We're past the midway point now, folks. If you can believe it, the Pioneers are into the second and final month of the season, as now they sit 9 wins, 15 losses. Watertown just ahead of them in the standings, 11 wins, 13 losses. So the Pioneers have some catching up to do against the Watertown Rapids. Certainly can do so with a couple of wins and a home and home here over the next 2 days. Of course, tomorrow being July 4th, affair, as the Pioneers always put on a good show, but hey, a national holiday could be a little bit of fun to play on. So we'll have to see what the Pioneers can do with, as now the Watertown Rapids getting their introduction. So we'll take a minute to remind you guys once again, you're listening to the Miller's Mowing pregame show. If your field isn't game day ready, call Miller's Mowing 607-302-8226. As again, the Pioneers are working out down in the bullpen area as well as getting set to take their first at bats. Noah Rubino will be wearing an unfamiliar number. Normally we talk about his Justin Verlander-esque 35. However, tonight he will be wearing 24. So going to be interesting to see if the number means all that much to him, if it's just a number or what will be the situation. But the Pioneers will have a lot of work to do, as again, going to see what the Pioneers can do out of the batter's box. It has been a interesting start for the Pioneers. Like when they get going early and they have success early, that is when they're at their best. And they're going to have to do it today as they look to keep a winning streak going up Duffy Fairgrounds. So the last of the introductions are being finished out now. We will head to one more commercial break, and then when we first pitch, you're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixler.com. All right, so as Josh LaJoy begins pitches, LaJoy from St. John's University will have to see what he can do here against the Pioneers. Pioneers hitting has certainly taken a turn for the better over their last few games. We'll have to see if they can keep that up. Obviously, the run scored took a bit of a hit as they played the Geneva Red Wings, but as they went through the last 10 games, the Pioneers have certainly stepped up as far as batting averages and everything else, starting with Jeff Mejia. Mejia, who's batting an even 400 in the leadoff spot here. I'll tell you what, I think they found their leadoff hitter, and we'll have to see how he continues to work here in today's game. Pioneers are going to be trying their desperate best to find victory and success against Watertown, a team that they have found it against this season a few times already. As now again, the last few warm-up throws here as Jeff Mejia waits to come to the dish. Mejia on the season, stop talking about the leadoff numbers, but this season batting .323, 21 hits in 65 at-bats. He's been in 20 games so far this year. Also, a little bit surprising, but the 10 stolen bases leads the team. He's only been caught twice. So when he gets on, he's just as dangerous as he is at the to see what Mejia can do here tonight. I want to thank everybody once again for tuning in here on Mixler.com and, of course, on YouTube Live. We're always absolutely thrilled to have you guys here and with us. Once again, Pioneers going to work as Jeff Mejia steps up to the dish. Mejia, sophomore outfielder from UMass Lowell. As he steps up to the plate, will be the first man to greet Josh LaJoy. Talked about LaJoy's 5 innings in his previous start, allowed just 2 runs, both of them earned. So LaJoy comes set, and the first pitch is underway, as that's in there for strike number 1. So LaJoy locking in on the zone quickly here. Mejia waits as the windup and the pitch. Cut on by Mejia down the first baseline and just foul. So no balls, 2 strikes very quickly. As again, Mejia stepping. Again, it's an oddity for these other teams to see lefties right off the bat. As that one skips in 1 and 2, 1 ball, 2 strikes as the Pioneers trying to find a way on base to start things off. Mejia stepping back in. He looks down and waits on the pitch. Comes in, hit right back over the mound. Second baseman reaches over to grab it. Mejia on the way. He is not in time to first base as Mejia will go down 0-1. Mejia really thought he beat that out. He certainly stretched himself out far enough. Just couldn't quite get in before the throw. That'll bring up Brody Moore, one of the heroes from last night, hitting the tying run on a shot so far up against the wall, we thought it was going to clear it. As now, Brody steps back in. He's a 6'0", 185-pound freshman infielder from Auburn, so worked late into the World Series of college baseball. As that is low, 1-0, 1 ball, no strikes. Brody stepping back up into the plate. He waits. The windup and the pitch in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike on Brody Moore. LaJoy making quick work here of the Pioneers in the first. He has found the strike zone and is locking in as he comes set, winds, and low. 2 balls, 1 strike. So the Pioneers going to have to try to find a way to make contact and be maybe a little more aggressive as LaJoy attacking. And that time he hits more. So Brody's going to get a trip down to first base as that will bring up Preston Moore. Again, no relation, but 6'0", 185-pound freshman infielder from Samford by way of Hoover, Alabama. Preston heads up. He'll be playing third base tonight. Preston's had a good start off to the season here as he's the highest batter on the team, .333, 25 hits and 75 at-bats. The wind and the pitch. Low, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, as Preston Moore will try to move Brody Moore around the base pass after Brody Moore was hit by a pitch. LaJoy checking the runner over there at first. Brody fakes the takeoff and forces ball 2. And that one gets over the head of the pitcher right back to the shortstop. So keeps Brody Moore right where he is, as that one luckily didn't skitter into the outfield. Preston Moore getting his sign from head coach Matt Birch. Preston looking out. LaJoy winds, delivers, cut on, and solid hit, but that one's going to get foul. So 2 balls, 1 strike here. A little bit hard to see the scoreboard out there in center right field. Matt Birch giving his signs to his runner and his hitter. Preston Moore stepping back in. Preston waits. LaJoy comes back set, winds and delivers. Cut on by Preston Moore over the head of the second baseman, and that will send Brody Moore to second base, and that's as far as he will go as Preston Moore earns the first hit of the ball game. That'll bring up Mason Ruhlman. Ruhlman's first start in a couple of games here. Ruhlman, however, hitting fairly well this season. 20 hits and 69 at-bats, a .290 average. As he goes up to bat with runners in scoring position, Ruhlman has been .240 average, 7 RBIs in 25 attempts. The windup and the pitch is low, 1-0, 1 ball, no strikes. Just 1 out here. So though LaJoy jumped on the train early, he's having a little bit of trouble here as we go later into the first. After the hit batter, Preston Moore took advantage and put a ball in play. See if Mason Ruhlman can do the same, as he takes ball 2, 2 balls, no strikes. Only 1 out against the Pios so far. As again, Ruhlman looking out. LaJoy checks the runner back at second, winds and delivers. Low again, 3 balls, no strikes. So we'll see. The next pitch should be in the zone, but Ruhlman can look for something specific. If he doesn't get what he likes, he can wait on it. As again, LaJoy coming back set. He winds and delivers in there for a strike. As Ruhlman taking all the way there. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. As Mason will adjust his sights here. We'll see what he decides to do. As LaJoy comes back set, he winds, delivers, cut on and miss. That one a little high on Ruhlman. 3 balls, 2 strikes as LaJoy gets the count back full. Pioneers with runners at first and second. Only 1 out here in the top of the first. Ruhlman checking out as LaJoy checks the runner back at second. Winds and delivers. Low. Ruhlman will walk, and that will be ball 4, as that brings up the number 5 batter with bases loaded, Garrett Schultz. As Schultz comes up, he's .254 on the year with bases loaded. Garrett batting 0 for 4. Does have 3 RBIs in the situation, however. So we'll see what Garrett can do here. Brody Moore got this all started off after being hit by a pitch in the second at bat of the game. Only 1 out. Anything but a double play here scores a run. As the windup and the pitch from LaJoy, low, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes as the Pioneers threatening already. Bases are loaded. Here in the top of the first, Schultz waiting. LaJoy winds up and delivers. Cut on there by Schultz, grounded towards the third baseman. Scooped up by the shortstop. It gets by and around the first baseman. This is going to score a second run, and the Pioneers are now up 2-0 as Brody and Preston Moore cross the plate after the throwing error over to first allows the runners to make it to second and third. As I'm looking down just to try to verify, I believe it appears right now they gave a hit to Garrett Schultz. So he'll go 1 for 1 with two RBIs, Trey Harmon makes his way to the dish. Harmon waiting. LaJoy winds up and delivers. Cut on and missed by Harmon. Harmon, the number 4 first baseman in the country and a top 150 impact freshman coming into this season. as Harmon steps back up. Harmon has runners in scoring position. The windup and the pitch. Cut on and missed again, as Harmon this year with runners in scoring position is batting .231 in 13 attempts. LaJoy coming back set. He's only got one out here. No balls, 2 strikes, as Harmon now has to be a lot more defensive. LaJoy comes back set. He winds, delivers. Cut on, popped up in the infield. This one's going into foul territory, and the first baseman will drop it as he managed to make the out. That'll give another breath of life to the first baseman, Trey Harmon. So, Matt Birch conferring with his runners, as Harmon will have to go back and play some defensive batting here. As the Pioneers look to extend, they have a 2-0 early lead. Harmon stepping back in. Trey waiting for the pitch. LaJoy shakes off the next sign and now has one he likes. Winds, delivers low, and that one's kept right up front as the catcher able to keep the ball in front of him. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As again, runners hoping for a single here, would love to score 2 more. As LaJoy comes back set. He winds and delivers. Harmon cuts on the ball. It goes foul and bounces down the third base line. Pioneers leading 2-0 here in the top of the first inning. As again, Trey Harmon up at the dish. LaJoy back out there on the mound, has runners on second and third with only 1 out. The wind and the pitch. In there for strike 3. Trey Harmon goes down on strikes, as that'll be the second out of the inning. And bring up Trevor Henneman. Henneman heads for the dish. 2 outs, so the runners will be going on any type of contact. And you know the Pioneers would like to extend this first inning a little bit further and put up a couple more runs. So again, Henneman stepping up. He's a freshman from Canisius College, also from Corning, New York, the hometown boy. One of a few we've actually got on the team this year. As the windup and the pitch. Low, 1 ball, no strikes. 2 outs here in the top of the first as the Pioneers trying to keep things going in their favor. Henneman will play first base tonight as the wind and pitch from LaJoy. In there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. As trying to keep loose over there is Noah Rubino throwing back and forth. As again, the wind and the pitch. Cut on and popped up. This is going to get back behind the plate and into the fan seating there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As again, Henneman heads back for the dish. LaJoy will have to go back to work here. LaJoy needs 1 more strike. The Pioneers looking for a single to be able to get in these other 2 runs that stand on the base paths. Henneman waiting. LaJoy comes set, winds and delivers, and there's another ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Our first Tioga Downs showdown of the evening. You too can be an all-star. Go on down and check out Smash Mouth at this summer's concert series down at Tioga Downs. The windup and the pitch. Cut on. This one is hit out towards center left, and the center fielder makes the grab, and that will do it for the inning. Henneman flies out to deep center left, but the Pioneers managed to tally 2 at the end of half an inning. Pioneers 2, Watertown nothing. All right. The Pioneers head out to the field as Noah Rubino will make his first pitches of the evening. He's going to get things started against Dylan Sanchez. Sanchez, as a leadoff hitter, has been up 8 times, batting .375 with a walk. So the challenge will be on for Noah Rubino to carry through the first inning, hopefully quickly, as the Pioneers have jumped out to a 2-0 lead here in the top half of the first. Rubino throwing the last couple of his warm-up pitches. His pitching style looking a little bit different here. Can't pinpoint it exactly. We'll watch the next warm-up pitch, which I believe will be the throwdown pitch. Nope, he's got one more. All right, so one more. Still trying to figure out what is different here about Rubino as he tucks himself in out there on the mound. Mason Ruhlman standing back and backing up his shortstop, who is playing the second base position. Jumping up was Brody Moore, throws back to Mason Ruhlman, and now this is going to start the bottom half of the first. Pios with a 2-0 lead. As again, Rubino gets the ball, takes the high five from his first baseman, and now Rubino dusting off his cleats back there. Looks to be ready. We'll see what he can do here. Still walking around that mound. Doesn't look terribly comfortable for whatever reason. Rubino looking in, winds and delivers. In there for strike one right off the get. 0-1 count here for Rubino to start things off. Noah comes back set. He winds and delivers. Popped up. This one right behind home plate. Coming over and making the catch. So a quick first out there for the Pioneers is Moskowitz. 0-1 goes Sanchez. That'll bring up George Rosales. Rosales, 208 on the year. 5 hits in 24 at-bats. See what he can do here as the catcher makes his way into the batter's box. And Noah Rubino, who's been absolutely stellar this year, looking to get back into form. Had a rough last 2 games. The windup and the pitch in there for strike. So perfect 2 for 2 on first pitch strikes. As Rubino back out there on the mound. Saw a lot of Rubino early on pitching at home. Now pitching a little bit more prevalently on the road. The windup, the pitch, cut on, fouled down the line and into the fan area. So no balls, 2 strikes to start things off here on the second batter of the inning. Rubino heads back to the hill as he looks in. The wind and pitch. In there for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes from Noah Rubino. Again, Noah Rubino has come out and shown some life as the freshman at Siena. The wind, the pitch. In there for ball 2, and the frame job there from Moskowitz. He was trying to convince the umpire that was across the plate area. So Rubino, originally from Guilford, Connecticut, before arriving at Siena, he had tossed 3 no-hitters, held a .7 ERA, allowed just 23 hits, runs on a 111 batting average his senior year. The wind, the pitch, cut on, connected on, out towards right center, and that's going to get down. Scooping it up is Buffington, and he quickly throws it in. So Rosales will go 1. Smith, the shortstop. Smith, the second best hitter on the Watertown Rapids. .324. He's 22 for 68. Has 4 doubles and a home run. So we'll see what Smith can do as the Lion King plays overhead. Interesting choice for a walk-up song. As Smith steps in. And Rubino will have to work out of the stretch for the first time today. Rubino winds and delivers. In there for a strike, so 3 for 3 with first pitch strikes. As Rubino comes back set, looks in. He and Moskowitz have developed something of a rapport here. The throw over to first, very nonchalant. As again, Rubino comes back to the mound. He checks the runner over at first base. Comes back set. Winds and delivers. Cut on. And the shortstop makes the grab. Touches second. Throws to first and in time for the double play. Smith goes down on the double play, and the Pioneers head back to the batter's box. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixlr.com. All right, so LaJoy back out on the mound. The Pioneers looking to expand on their 2-0 lead. As first up to the dish will be catcher Bryce Moskowitz. See what he can do here as LaJoy getting a couple more warm-up throws. So it'll be Moskowitz and then Quinn Buffington and then the top of the order. So one more throwdown here as Bryce Moskowitz waits the throwdown. And Moskowitz will head for the dish. Moskowitz, a 5'9", 190-pound freshman catcher from the University of Pittsburgh by way of LaGrange, Illinois. Bryce played baseball for Lyons Township High School in LaGrange, where he was a first-team All-Area, All-Conference team, and All-Conference academic in his senior year. Also a former member of the White Sox Elite. So, Moskowitz waiting. The windup and pitch from LaJoy. No balls, one strike to start things off here in the top of the second. The Pioneers have a 2-0 lead. As again, the windup and the pitch. Cut on, grounded back towards the pitcher's mound. And the throw over is in time. So Moskowitz goes down 0 for 1. That's going to bring up Quinn Buffington. Buffington will head to the plate. As again, we talked about it, Buffington hasn't seen a ton of playing time lately, batting a .170, 8 hits, 47 at-bats on the season. He's a dangerous threat if he can get on base, though. Certainly has the speed. As the windup and the pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. Joyce seems to have settled right back down and into it here. Comes back set, winds and delivers. Side, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Our next Tioga Downs showdown of the evening. Tioga Downs, not just a great place to play, now a great place to stay with their new hotel. Cut on there by Buffington, 1 ball, 2 strikes. As once again, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, as Buffington going to work. The windup and the pitch bounced up to the plate, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. As Buffington looking to make contact here. Jeff Mejia waits on deck. As again, the windup and pitch from LaJoy inside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Quinn stepping back up to the dish. Looking out. LaJoy comes set, winds and delivers. Inside again as Buffington takes a stroll down to first base. And that's going to bring up Jeff Mejia. Mejia was a perfect game preseason All-American as a junior and sophomore, and as a freshman, his team was the North Sectional champs and earned Fort Myers All-Tournament team honors. Mejia notched his first career collegiate hit against Binghamton University. As Mejia steps back up to the plate, 0 for 1 on the night, looking to improve on that. As the pitch is bounced up, 1 ball, no strikes. As again, LaJoy going back to work here. LaJoy looking for a sign. Mejia steps back in. LaJoy coming back set, checks the runner on first. Buffington is off. Mejia sees one skip in, and 2 balls, no strikes on Mejia as Buffington steals second base. So we talked about Buffington's speed out there, and he shows a perfect example of it right there. Mejia now stands there, 2 ball, no strike count, as he looks to get on base for the first time here this evening. Here in the top of the second inning. As LaJoy looking in. Got his sign. Checks Buffington back at second. Comes set, winds and delivers. In there, low, 3 balls, no strikes. So, LaJoy looking in. Mejia waiting. Very quiet crowd up here tonight in Watertown. As the wind and the pitch. In there for a strike, 3 balls, 1 strike. So, Kajoy coming back set. As looking out, Jeff Mejia waiting on his next pitch. Quinn Buffington taking a dancing lead from second, as that is low, and Mejia will walk. So, Mejia heads down to first base, runners on first and second, and 2 of the speediest guys on this Pios team, as Brody Moore heads up for the plate. No official at bats, was hit by a pitch in his first appearance. Only 1 out. Very similar situation to what we saw in the top of the first. Brody Moore looking out. LaJoy trying to find a solution against these Pioneers. The windup and the pitch taken for ball 1, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out here. As now, head coach Matt Birch giving the signs to his runners. Brody Moore waiting. LaJoy continuing to keep an eye on Buffington back there. Throws a strike. Hurrying back was Mejia. He is back in time. And Quinn Buffington takes advantage and moves to third base. So a runner 90 feet from home now. As Brody Moore steps back up to the dish. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Another Tioga Down showdown. As Buffington looking for any type of way to put himself across the plate. The wind bounced a pitch up there. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Brody Moore stepping back into the dish. As he waits. LaJoy now checks the runner over at first. The wind and the pitch. Cut on and fouled back. Out of play there. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out on one of last night's heroes, Brody Moore. Moore managed to hit the double that would bring in the tying run in the bottom of the 9th. The throw over to first. Now Mejia running for second. Quinn Buffington waiting as Mejia heads back for first. The throw back, and it's in time. Buffington is off and to the races. He is across home plate. So Mejia is caught stealing, but the Pioneers score a run on the rundown. 3-0 in favor of Elmira now. Smooth base running there from Quinn Buffington, who watched as Jeff Mejia got caught in the rundown and then used it to his advantage to score. So Brody Moore, a little bit different situation here now, as the 2 ball, 2 strike count now comes with 2 outs, so it makes it another Tioga Down showdown. 2-1 at bat. That's a rarity here this season, folks. As again, Brody Moore stepping back in. The catcher just asked for the count, so glad to see I'm not the only one having trouble reading that scoreboard out there in center right, excuse me. Brody Moore waiting. The pitch cut on by Moore, driven between the shortstop and the third baseman, and Moore is going to get his first hit of the night. That's going to bring up Preston Moore. Preston Moore 1 for 1 already, as now the number 3 batter comes up to the dish. So, Preston Moore is the Taco Bell K-Man. So he will be looking to deny the fans their tacos here tonight. As Preston steps back in. Getting the signs from head coach Matt Birch. 2 outs in the inning. As the Joy comes back set. Pioneers have a 3-0 lead here in the top of the second inning. The windup and the pitch from LaJoy, cut on by Moore, grounded towards the third base side, bounces off the shortstop's glove. Both men are going to be safe. And now runners on first. Mason Ruhlman heads to the dish. Ruhlman had a walk back in the first inning. Will be looking for a way to get on base here. LaJoy certainly has had his hands full here so far. As the Pioneers continue to try to find a way to provide insurance for Rubino. The big swing there from Ruhlman. No balls, 1 strike. 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. As again, LaJoy coming back set. He looks out at Brody Moore on second. The wind, the pitch in there for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. As Ruhlman will step back in. Batting from that left-hand side batter's box. Ruhlman waits. LaJoy checks the runner, winds and delivers. Inside, gets by the catcher, and the runners will advance to second and third. So Ruhlman with a 1 ball, 2 strike, 2 out count now. As LaJoy heads back for the mound. Another pass ball could result in another run, as Brody Moore stands just 90 feet from home. So with 2 outs, runners in scoring position. Ruhlman, we talked about it earlier, 1 for 10. As he waits, LaJoy coming back set on the mound. Bounces and it's by him. Brody Moore is going to score. Preston will move to third, and the Pioneers are up 4-0. So Preston Moore stands on third base here. LaJoy heads back for the mound. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. A Tioga Down showdown. And the catcher will head out and have a conversation with LaJoy. So the Pioneers, who have had some trouble scoring runs early in the season, have certainly found the cure for that over the last few games. Geneva's still giving them some fits, but Watertown and Alex T. Duffy Fairgrounds has been a nice place for the Pioneers to come. They've found a lot of success up here. As once again, I'm getting death looks here from the fans in front of me as Mason Ruhlman steps back up to the dish. Ruhlman waiting. The windup and the pitch. Bounce and hits Ruhlman. So Ruhlman will head for first base after being hit by a pitch. So Ruhlman heads to first. Preston Moore still 90 feet away from home. Pitcher may have been lucky that one hit Ruhlman, to be honest with you, as that looked like it was going to get away from the catcher and would have brought in another run. So LaJoy heads back for the mound as a 4-0 lead for the Pioneers. Garrett Schultz heads back for the batter's box. He is 1 for 1 with 2 RBIs. See what he can do here. LaJoy certainly feeling a lot of pressure here as he has runners at the corners. Garrett Schultz steps back in, batting 5th here tonight. Moved up a few spots in the order from his number 9 batting spot last night. Check over on Ruhlman at first. The wind and the pitch bounced up to home plate. 1 ball, no strikes. So 2 outs, 1 ball, no strikes to Garrett Schultz. Runners at first and third. As again, the windup and the pitch. Cut on and hit down the right field line. Gonna get foul as that goes in towards the Pioneers bullpen. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. LaJoy will go right back to work. Pioneers will be home tomorrow on July 4th against the same Watertown Rapids. Make sure to come out to historic Dunn Field. The windup, the pitch, cut on. This one hit and gonna get down, gonna score another run as Ruhlman will stop at second. Schultz will go for 2 for 2 and improve his RBI total to 3. That'll bring up Trey Harmon. Harmon 0 for 1, has a strikeout here tonight. Runners at first and second as LaJoy will continue to pitch here. Has now given up 5 runs in the first 2 innings. Harmon waiting. LaJoy comes set, winds and delivers. Cut on. Harmon fouled off. And that one went right down past the third base line. Harmon looking to straighten things out. Has had a little bit of trouble here as of late. Harmon steps back in. LaJoy looking in. Checks the runner back at second. Winds and delivers. Cut on and popped up. This one going back, and it will reach the seats and bounce back towards the parking lot. So our first good opportunity to remind you, make the right decision, insist on Gerber Collision and Auto Glass. As now, LaJoy. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, trying to get Harmon here. As a 3-run top of the second. As Pioneers cause here, as that'll be ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs here as the Pios lead 5-0. So LaJoy comes back set. Looks back at the runner on second base. The wind and pitch is in there. As LaJoy trying to find an answer to get out of this inning. Has certainly struggled coming out of the gate here. The check back, the wind, the delivery, cut on and dropped. As now all the runners will run and Harmon not able to beat out the throw. So his second strikeout of the game. And we will head for the bottom of the second. Pioneers up 5-0. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball here on Mixlr.com. All right, and that'll bring Noah Rubino back to the mound. Rubino, who has been pretty much the Pioneers' ace this season, will now face 4-5-6. James Crick will be the first man to greet him. Crick is a leadoff hitter, 636 in 11 attempts. See what he can do here. We've seen Crick put the ball a long way from home plate in our past couple visits here. Rubino is going to be tasked with putting that to a stop. As Rubino comes set and delivers. So misses his first pitch strike. 3 for 4. As now 1-0 the count. Rubino comes set, winds and delivers. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Rubino had to sit quite a while there in between the bottom of the first and now the bottom of the second. 3 runs did come across in the top half as the Pioneers increased their lead to 5-0. The wind and pitch is high again. 3 balls, no strikes. as Rubino having to get the arm back into it here. So 3-0 count. Next pitch should be relatively easy to find right around the zone as Rubino winds and delivers. Over for a strike, 3-1 count. Crick trying to get things started here, the powerful first baseman for the Watertown Rapids. Best hitter on the team, 333, 17 hits and 51 at bats. Connected on right towards the second baseman. Ruhlman snags it, throws it over to first in time, and Crick goes down 0 for 1. So that'll bring up Vinny DeRubius. DeRubius has hit 263 on the year, 20 for 76, 7 doubles, 1 triple, and 2 home runs for 10 RBIs. Second most RBIs on the team, only to James Crick. So DeRubius waits the windup and pitch. In there for a ball, 1-0. So Rubino trying to find that strike zone again. He found it fairly well back in the first. Needs to do it again here in the bottom of the second. Inside, 2 balls, no strikes. As again, Elmira will host the same Watertown Rapids tomorrow at historic Dunn Field. If you haven't had the chance to get out this season, the 4th of July, a great time to come out and enjoy America's favorite pastime. The pitch in there for another ball, 3-0. Second batter in a row. As once again, Rubino comes set. He delivers ball 4, and that will earn DeRubius a walk. As now Tony Sochi, who is batting .250 on the season, he is 16 for 64. So we'll see what Sochi can do here. First Watertown base runner over there. The windup and the pitch. Cut on and missed. So no balls, 1 strike, 1 out. As Rubino trying to work himself back into the count and into the inning. The throw over. Very deliberate. Rubino probably not what you'd call a pickoff pitcher. Move is very advertised. Certainly gets the runner's attention, however. As Rubino comes set. Throws back one more time. And now we'll focus back on the plate at Tony Sochi. Shadow starting to creep out towards the pitcher's mound as it's fully engulfed home plate at this point. Rubino checking on that runner again, winds and delivers. That one's in there for a ball. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, a Tioga Down showdown back to the pitcher's mound. Rubino looks over, checking the runner at first. Back. Checks the runner one more time. Now he sets and moves into his windup. Cut on, popped up in the air. This should be an easy grab for Brody Moore. As he's got it, Moore will catch the pop out, and that will bring up Jonathan Catapano. Catapano coming in. Catapano, is stepping up with a .262 batting average. He's hit 17 for 65, has a double, a triple, a home run on the resume, but the other 14 hits have all been for singles, so we'll see what he does here. Catapano waits on the first pitch, the throw over to first, get back into the batter's box and keep things working. Pioneers lead 5-0 here as Rubino comes set, winds, delivers in there for ball 1. So 2 outs in the inning. 1 ball, no strikes. As Rubino checks the runner over at first. Comes back set on the mound. And winds and delivers. Cut on, popped up, and that one will get out of play. Another great opportunity to remind you to make the right decision. Insist on Gerber Collision and Auto Glass. So, Catapano, the number 7 batter in the lineup. As once again, Rubino trying to get things straightened out here. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. as Rubino wants to get back to the dugout. Rubino looks in, throws over to first. Again, pickoff move still developing there for Rubino as he looks out. Comes back set. He winds and delivers. In there for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As Rubino now 1 strike away from getting back to the dugout. Here in the bottom of the second, Pioneers leading 5-0. Rubino would love to work some quick innings here, not throw too many pitches, keep himself fresh. As that one is in there for a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Another Tioga Down showdown. As we remind you, Tioga Down is not only a great place to play, also a great place to eat. Stop on down, check out the great buffet any day of the week. As Rubino looks over, comes back set, winds and delivers towards the first base, and a misplay there by the first baseman. The runner going around and trouble handling it. Henneman unable to make the play over to first, and now the Rapids will have runners at the corners. So now that will bring up Danny DeMarzo, as Catapano will reach on an error. And DeMarzo, the third baseman, batting in the 8th spot tonight. 200 on the season, 10 hits in 50 at-bats. So DeMarzo looking out. As Rubino takes a look in. Comes set, delivers. In there for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. As again, DeMarco waiting. The windup and the pitch. Bounces one up there. Runner's off for second. They're not going to throw down. 2 balls, no strikes as the runner advanced on defensive indifference. And Rubino now has 2 runners in scoring position as he tries to close out the bottom of the second here. DeMarco. 2 balls. Rubino comes back set. He winds and delivers. In there for strike number 1. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 outs. As again, Rubino looking for that put-away pitch. Thought he had it there as the ground ball should have been easy play for the first baseman. Unfortunately, a little bit difficult to handle as this one's popped up. Pointing straight up in the air is Rubino. He's going to back up and drop it. And that will be a run scored as Rubino lost that one in the sun. And again, Pioneers will go back to work. So DeMarco's going to reach on an error again. And that'll bring up the number 9 batter, Brandon Taylor. Rubino saying he's fine. 2 outs now for a couple of batters. As Watertown has closed the gap a little bit here, 5-1 in favor of the Pioneers at this point. And Rubino was pointing up in the air as if somebody was going to come up and take the catch for him. He ended up having to deal with it himself and lost it in the sun. So I'm sure he's wishing that shadow had extended a little bit more at this point in the evening. Rubino comes set, winds and delivers, cut on and fouled back. So reminder to make the right decision, insist on Gerber Collision and Auto Glass. As again, Rubino looks in, checks the runner over there at first, comes back set. He winds and delivers. High, 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. As Rubino looking in. He sets. Waiting one more time. Winds and delivers. Low, 2 balls, 1 strike. 2-1 count, 2 outs, as the Pioneers still have a 4-run lead. Certainly don't want to have that gap closed anymore, as Rubino trying to find his way through the bottom of the second. The windup and the pitch. High, 3 balls, 1 strike. So, Rubino talking to himself all the way back to the mound now. He looks in. Neither runner taking a very large lead for Watertown. As Rubino checks the runner at first again, winds and delivers. Cut on and missed. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The next pitch will be decisive. As again, Rubino comes back set. Checking over on the runner at first before he's even in his pitching stance. As now Rubino looks in. You'd have to assume both runners will be trying to move on this one. The wind, the pitch, runner goes from first, and that is going to be ball 4. And that will result in a bases loaded situation as Dylan Sanchez heads to the dish. Dylan Sanchez, with the bases loaded, 0 for 1, does have an RBI in the situation, though. Matt Birch will head out to talk to his hurler, Noah Rubino. So Birch and Rubino having a chat. Nobody out there on the bullpen. As the chant, leave him in. I don't believe we'll see Rubino get pulled here. Rubino has been the ace for the Pioneer staff this season. So I'm sure he's just getting some notes from head coach Matt Birch. And the umpire heads out to break up the conversation on the mound. As now again, Rubino having a conversation with his manager and the umpire at this point. So Matt Birch heads for the dugout. Rubino appears to be doing okay. And he'll go back to work. As he faces the top of the order, Dylan Sanchez, 0 for 1 on the night, had that big pop out into foul territory. Sanchez going right back in from Central Connecticut State here. As Rubino coming back set, he winds and delivers. Cut on, popped up again, and that one's going to get into the seats. So, no balls, 1 strike for Rubino. Bases are loaded. Rubino checks in. Comes back set. He winds and delivers. In there for strike 2, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. As again, no Rubino coming back set. He looks in, steps off, and will take his time here on the mound. Rubino staring in. He comes set, winds and delivers. Cut on and missed as that strikeout on Dylan Sanchez gets the inning over with. 1 run does come across as the Pioneers have a 5-1 lead. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixlr.com. All right, the Pioneers heading back to the batter's box as Trevor Henneman steps in to lead things off. Henneman, as a leadoff batter, 0.77 average in 13 attempts. See what he can do here as Henneman steps back in. The pitch, cut on and blasted out towards right center. That one is caught by the center fielder. Henneman goes 0 for 2. That'll bring up Bryce Moskowitz. Moskowitz 0 for 1 on the night. See what he can do as the Excellus bat boy makes his way out to pick up the bat. As Moskowitz looking to get himself going here. Moskowitz batting 6 for 38 on the season. That one is low, 1 ball, no strikes. Bryce stepping out for just a second, readjusting his batting gloves, and steps back in. Moskowitz waits. LaJoy comes set and delivers. Low, 2 balls, no strikes. 1 out here. As Moskowitz steps back in the batter's box. He waits. The wind and the pitch. Cut on and connected down towards left field. That one eats up the left field around. Heading for second. The ball still rolling out there. Moskowitz will stand on second base. So we'll see the official scoring out here. Could be an error. We wait to see. And yes, that will be an error. So Moskowitz will go 0 for 2, reaching on the error and on the outfielder. That'll bring up Quinn Buffington. Buffington, who has a base on balls and a stolen base, eventually came around to score back in the second inning. The wind and the pitch in there for a strike. Buffington, no balls, 1 strike here. He looks out. LaJoy coming back set. The wind, the pitch, cut on by Buffington right towards his head coach down there on the third baseline. Matt Birch able to avoid the ball. And now Buffington will step back in. Buffington has the runner on second as Moskowitz stands out there on the base pass. LaJoy comes set, winds and delivers, bounces 1 ball. The at-bat, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. As Buffington stepping back up towards the plate. Buffington waits on the pitch. LaJoy checking the runner. Checks him again, and now will deliver. Buffington takes ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. As LaJoy. Runner back on second base. Moskowitz has no stolen bases this year. No attempts, as a matter of fact. The wind, the pitch. Buffington connects right down the third base line and just foul. So Buffington will head back to home, and Moskowitz will remain right at second base. So Buffington getting his workout here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out as he returns to home. Quinn steps back into the right-handed batter's box. As now LaJoy comes back set. Checks on Moskowitz back at second base. Winds and delivers. Bounces it up. 3 balls, 2 strikes. As Buffington trying to avoid the catcher who lost control of the ball there for a moment. 3-2 count. 1 out. As Buffington steps back in. LaJoy has had a rough outing so far here in the top of the third. The wind, the pitch. Buffington takes ball 4, heads down to first. The runner makes it from second to third as the catcher lost sight of the ball. Buffington will walk for the second time here tonight. That'll bring back up Jeff Mejia. Mejia, who's 0 for 1, has a base on balls and was caught stealing, but when he was caught, Quinn Buffington came around to score. So we'll see as now Buffington, you might predict with a runner on third base, Buffington trying to steal second to get the catcher to throw down so that Moskowitz can get in to score at home. We'll have to see if that's what plays out here. LaJoy comes set. He winds and delivers. Ball one as it squirts away from the catcher. 1-0 on Mejia. Buffington not moving there, a little surprised. Thought he might try to draw the throw out to second base. As again, Mejia waiting in the batter's box. LaJoy coming back set. Buffington sees the throw come over to him and not nearly in time as he scrambled back quickly. Mejia waiting in the batter's box again. The wind and the pitch. Cut on by Mejia and a big swing and a miss there. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out as we have another tag down showdown as Mejia steps back in. LaJoy checking, winds and deals, taken. The throw comes down. Buffington is punched out and Moskowitz didn't move. So Buffington is caught stealing as Matt Birch holding his hands up there at third base. So 2 outs now. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. LaJoy coming back set. He winds and delivers. Outside, 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Moskowitz continues to stand on third base here. Thought we might see him go with the throw down there on Buffington. Didn't see that happen. Mejia waiting, takes ball 4, and he will head to first base. So second base on balls of the night for Jeff Mejia. That'll bring up Brody Moore. He's 1 for 1 and was hit by a pitch earlier on. Moore steps back into the batter's box. And LaJoy has had some trouble here tonight. So we'll see what Brody Moore can do. There are 2 outs here. 1 out could get the Rapids out of trouble. The Pioneers trying to cash in yet again. LaJoy winds and delivers. Low, 1-0. Oh, no, they call balk. So that's going to score the run and move the runners over as coming around to score is Moskowitz, making it 6-1 now in favor of the Pioneers as Mejia now stands at second. So no balls, no strikes, 2 outs as Brody Moore still has a runner in scoring position. He cuts on one there, hits it out, and back towards the parking lot. So a reminder, make the right decision, insist on Gerber Collision and Auto Glass. No balls, 1 strike to Brody Moore. Mejia standing on second base. The windup and the pitch, cut on, ground ball, third, and the shortstop makes the grab, but that's going to put Brody Moore on base yet again. Moore will go 2 for 2, runners at the corners as Preston Moore heads for the dish. He's 2 for 2 on the night already. So, Moore now has runners at the corners. Mejia standing 90 feet from home as LaJoy, now in his third inning of work, has yet to put a 0 up against the Pioneers. LaJoy comes set. This is the Taco K-Man of the game, I believe. The pitch is low, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, as Preston Moore has had a perfect night, 2 for 2 here through the third inning of work. LaJoy waits on the mound, looking for the sign, checks the runner at first, comes back set. Now he winds and heads home. The pitch is swung on and fouled away. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs on Preston Moore. Moore has turned heads this year, 37 hits, including 2 home runs, 14 doubles, as well as 15 walks this year. LaJoy comes set, winds, delivers, cut on there by Preston Moore, right to the third baseman, thrown over, and in time. That will end the inning as Preston Moore goes 2 for 3, but continues to deny fans their tacos. We'll be right back. It's 6-1 here in Watertown as the Pioneers try to keep their lead going. All right, and with that, Noah Rubino heads back to the hill. He'll be looking to get through another inning without allowing a run. He did allow one back in the second, but the Pioneers answered right back in the top of the third. It's a 6-1 ball game here in the bottom of the third inning. So Rubino has froze. That'll bring up George Rosales. Rosales 1 for 1 on the night. As a leadoff batter, however, Rosales 0 for 5. Again, as I just stated, 0 for 5 as a leadoff hitter. We'll see if he can improve those numbers. Rubino would love to keep them right where they're at. He has been able to work 2 walks out of the leadoff spot, though. As Rubino comes set, he winds and delivers. Cut on and hit out there towards left center. Quinn Buffington on a horse, and he will make it and make the catch. So Rosales continues 0 for 6 now as a leadoff hitter. That'll bring up Drake Smith, the shortstop. 0 for 1, grounded into a double play back in the first inning. So, Lion King music. Once again, we remind you as an opportunity to head on down and catch the live action version this summer at Elmira Heights Theater. Will be coming out very, very shortly. Should be fun. As the wind and the pitch. Cut on and missed, and whew, trying to put that one about back on the bus to Elmira. Smith, 0 for 1. Rubino comes set. He winds and delivers. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. A Tioga Down showdown. As again, Noah Rubino comes back set. The pitcher from Siena has certainly worked some magic so far here as he throws ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. As Noah Rubino comes back set. He winds and delivers. Cut on and missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. As Rubino looking for the second out of the inning. Smith, as I said earlier, grounded into a double play his first time up. Rubino has just 1 strikeout here on the evening. Would love to add a second. And that one is popped up. Chance for the catcher, and he will make the catch. Moskowitz with a underhanded catch. Don't see that one too often. As Smith goes 0 for 2. That's going to bring up the power hitting James Crick. Crick, a little bit under 333 now, as he's gone 17 for 52 now. So, Crick, with 2 men out, looking to keep the inning going for the Watertown Rapids. So, Crick stepping in. Rubino comes set, winds and delivers. In there for strike number 1. No balls, 1 strike here in the bottom of the third. 2 outs already on the board. As Rubino comes set, winds and delivers. That one's a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Rubino trying to fix things up here and get himself out of the bottom of the third. Cut on, grounded towards the middle, scooped up by Brody Moore, thrown to first, and in time, Crick goes down 0 for 2, and the Pioneers take a 6-1 lead to the top of the fourth. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixlr.com. All right, so a new pitcher after just 3 innings of work. Michael Rounds will come into the game. Rounds a 3.0 ERA, 1 win, 1 loss. In 6 games appeared in, he started 3, has 21 innings pitched, 17 hits, 10 runs, 7 of them earned, 4 bases on balls, and 11 strikeouts. So we'll see what he can do here as he's going to have to face 4, 5, and 6 in the order. And the leadoff batter is going to be Mason Ruhlman. Ruhlman as a leadoff hitter, batting a .182 in 22 appearances. And he does have a home run as a leadoff hitter, and that being said, that home run was right here at Alex T. Duffy Fairgrounds, so would love to echo that result, as that one went far and deep, as he will head back up to the plate here. Last couple of warm-up pitches for the new pitcher, Michael Rounds. So Rounds will be looking for a better start than LaJoy was able to have, as LaJoy really came out and got shell-shocked early. It was a rough start, and the Pioneers pitchers are well familiar with rough starts. So, won't find a heck of a lot of sympathy from the boys in Navy Blue, as once again, the Pioneers going back to work here. We'll have to see what they're able to do against the new pitcher. We head for the second third of the game, as now we're into inning number 4. Just said it. Ruhlman as a leadoff hitter, not great numbers, but does have a home run, and that home run did occur right here at this ballpark. Ruhlman steps back in as we get some late 90s music. Ruhlman steps up. I believe that might be the same song that was played when he hit the home run as well. So the windup and pitch from Rounds is high. 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 count as Ruhlman leading things off. So Rounds comes set. He winds and delivers. Ruhlman takes strike number 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. As again, Mason stepping back up to the plate. He looks out. Rounds coming back set. Winds and delivers. Cut on and ground ball towards the shortstop. Hops up. Ruhlman is not in, just punched out. That one looked pretty close from up here. Ruhlman will go 0 for a pitch in 2 previous appearances. That'll bring up Garrett Schultz, who's 2 for 2 on the day, has 3 RBIs, at least 1 in each of his first 2 at-bats. Only way he's going to get one here is if he can put it over one of the fences. Haven't seen him do that yet this year, but it's certainly not out of the question. The windup and pitch from Rounds is in there for a strike. Schultz is about to be a freshman at Xavier. He's been an all-tournament team member starting in 2014 as a 13-year-old kid. The windup and the pitch. Schultz takes ball 1 as that one bounces by the catcher. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. A Tioga Down showdown. As again, Schultz stepping right back up. He looks. Rounds coming set. He winds and delivers. Schultz holds himself back as he takes ball 2. Good eye there by Garrett Schultz. Schultz's body language saying he was wanting to take a heck of a cut at that thing, but he managed to hold himself back. Self perfect on the day as Rounds comes set, winds, delivers, cut on, and fouled down the line right towards a couple of kids playing catch down towards the Pioneers bullpen. So we've got a 2 ball, 2 strike count, 1 out. As Schultz waits. Time is called. Schultz steps out of the batter's box, gets himself cleared out. Shadow approaching the pitcher's mound at this point in the top of the 4th inning. Rounds has the sign he wants. Comes back set. Winds and delivers. Garrett Schultz will foul that one off. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Count one more time. Trey Harmon stands on deck. As again, Schultz looking out. He waits. The new Watertown hurler Rounds comes back set on the mound. He winds and delivers. In there for a strike. And Schultz not happy with that call. 2 for 3 as Schultz goes down on strikes. Trey Harmon will come up. He's 0 for 2. 2 strikeouts on the night so far. Work. Trey Harmon hoping to put the bat on the ball. He has struggled to do so here tonight. As Rounds has his sign. Winds and delivers. Bounced by as that's in there for ball number 1. 1-0 the count. Harmon takes a couple of practice swings. As now again, Michael Rounds will step back on the mound. Harmon waiting for the next pitch. Rounds comes set. He winds and delivers. Cut on and missed. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs here on Trey Harmon. So, Rounds trying to make the inning. He's got 2 outs here. Pioneers have put up a run in every inning, trying to keep that streak going. Bounce towards third base. Harmon will ground out 5-3. Harmon continues to be 0 for the night as the Pioneers head back to the field. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball here on Mixler.com. The Pioneers taking a 6-1 lead to the bottom of the 4th. Right, so Noah Rubino heads back out to the mound as he will look to get through another inning of work here in the bottom of the 4th. Rubino's first competition, Vinny DeRubius, who has no official at bat, walked in his first appearance at the plate. And again, the Pioneers going to have their work cut out for them here. Rubino makes his final warm-up throw. And the throw down, played off there by the second baseman. And that will bring up Vinny DeRubius. DeRubius as a leadoff batter, batting .231 in 13 attempts. So DeRubius heads for the batter's box. Rubino ready to go here in the bottom of inning number 4. The wind and pitch, high, 1-0. As Rubino goes back set. Has his sign, the shadow continues to creep out over that pitcher's mound. Cut on and fouled away. As we remind you once again, to make the right decision, insist on Gerber Collision and Auto Glass. Rubino coming back set on the mound. Has his sign, comes set, winds and delivers. That one is tipped away, 2 balls, 1 strike. Catcher couldn't hold on to that. So again, Rubino coming back set. He looks in. Winds, kicks and delivers. High, 3 balls, 1 strike. As Rubino, a little bit wild here to start off the bottom of the 4th. Rubino comes set. He winds and delivers. Low, ball 4. No, it's ball 3, excuse me. Very confused as thought that was ball 4, but apparently the second pitch of the inning had been blown off, as that is in there for ball 4. So the walk still registers, as Derubius will walk down to first base for the second time in the inning. That'll bring up Tony Sochi. Sochi 0 for 1. Would love to see the Pioneers get a ground ball here, work themselves out of the trouble of the man on first. Rubino looking in, he winds and delivers. Cut on and missed by Sochi. So Sochi, who's batting .250 on the year coming into today. Rubino comes set, throws over to first. As again, Rubino heads right back for the mound. He looks in. Sochi waiting. Rubino checking the runner over at first. He winds and delivers. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out. So Rubino looking over. Has his sign. Comes back set. He winds and delivers. In there for a strike. So as again, Sochi 0-1 count here. 0 for 1 on the day. 1 ball, 2 strike count. As Rubino winds and delivers. Low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out. As again, Rubino checking over on the runner. Comes back set. He has his sign. Winds and delivers. Cut on. Hit out there towards left. And that one gets down. The runners are off and to the races as the ball is thrown back in. Runners will stop at second and third as Sochi goes to 1 for 2 on the day. That'll bring up Jonathan Catapano. So buy one, get one free Tully's coupon there, thanks to Tony Sochi. As now Jonathan Catapano comes up. He's 0 for 1, did reach on an error. As we'll see what the Pioneers defense does here. Runners at second and third, both playing deep on the inside, as once again that's in there for ball 1, 1-0. Shortstop and second baseman not paying too much attention to the runner on second. The third baseman, Preston Moore, also playing a few feet off the bag. Rubino winds and delivers. Cut on. Grounded towards the second baseman. Roman picks up, throws to first in time. So the run will come in to score as Catapano gets an RBI. As that'll bring up Danny DeMarzo. DeMarzo 0 for 1. He reached on an error as well. As the Pioneers now do have the first out of the inning, but they did give up a run to get there. 6-2 the score in favor of the Elmira Pioneers at this point of the game. Rubino looking in. He winds and delivers. Bounces one up to home. 1 ball, no strikes. Pioneers still need 2 outs to get out of this inning here. As they're facing the bottom of the order, Danny DeMarzo and Brandon Taylor, the next 2 batters. The pitch, cut on and missed by DeMarzo. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. A Tioga Down showdown. As Rubino heads back for the mound. Comes back set. He looks in. Winds and delivers. That's in there for strike 2. 1 ball to 1 out. Rubino looking to get the punch out here. He's been known for getting quite a few on the season, just not having done it here tonight. Only has 1 strikeout. Rubino comes set, winds, delivers. Not going to get it there. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner still standing on third base. As Rubino comes back set. He waits. Has his sign. Checks on the runner at third. Very small lead over third base. The pitch is in there, and he will punch out Danny DeMarzo. So, just talking about Rubino's strikeout count, he gets another one there, and that'll bring up Brandon Taylor, the second baseman. He's no official appearances yet. He just has the base on balls. So Taylor, who has walked here tonight, talked about it, a 211 hitter coming into tonight, as Rubino 1 out away from getting out of the bottom of the fourth, only having given up 1 run. Pioneers with a 4-run lead, 6-2. Runner is standing 90 feet from home, as that one kept in front of him by Bryce Moskowitz. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. As the Pioneers trying to keep the deficit. I want to let the Rapids get back into this one. 2 balls, no strikes. As we sit here, bottom part of the fourth inning. Rubino stands out on the mound. He looks. Coming back set. He popped up towards right. That one is in fair. That's going to score a run and bring around the hitter. So Taylor will double and drive in an RBI, closing the gap to 6-3 in favor of the Pioneers. So that'll bring up Dylan Sanchez. Sanchez 0 for 2 has struck out and popped out here tonight, as Rubino has to deal with a runner in scoring position yet again. 6-3 lead here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Rubino has had to throw a lot of pitches. You wonder how long he'll stay in the game. The line, the pitch, runner's off for third. The throw down is not in time, as very, very late, as a stolen base for Brandon Taylor puts him now 90 feet from home. So trying to read that scoreboard out there, as I said, very difficult, as the pitch comes in there for a ball. I believe 1-1 maybe? I'm not sure on that throw down pitch. As Rubino comes back set, he checks the runner third, winds and delivers, cut on and fouled away. As I try to catch it out there on the scoreboard, can't even quite see it by the umpire's hand, so we'll have to guess along here. So Rubino going right back to work. Apparently 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. As Rubino trying to get out of this inning. The cut and miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Another Tioga Down showdown. As Rubino comes back set. Checks in, winds and delivers. Too high, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. As again, Dylan Sanchez 0 for 2 on the night. Would love to keep him there. As Rubino looks in. Full count. Shaking off 2. Now he steps off and will step back on the mound. In. He comes back set. The wind and the pitch. Way behind the batter. That will walk Dylan Sanchez and bring up George Rosales. Rosales 1 for 2. Got a runner standing at third base, 90 feet from home. As Rosales comes in. Looks as though someone heading down towards the Pioneers' pen, as I believe that's Ben Terwilliger. Terwilliger. That one bounces away. This is going to get all the way to the backstop and score a run, and he will get in. Dylan Sanchez comes from first to third on the pass ball, and the deficit is now 6-4. Terwilliger racing down to the bullpen now. As again, Noah Rubino will go back to work with a runner back on third base. The wind and the pitch. Bounce by again. This is going to score another run. So the deficit at one time 5-0 has now been shrunk to 6-5 as the Pioneers continue to have trouble in the middle innings. So the positive is now nobody's on base for George Rosales as Rubino heads back to the hill. Pioneers still leading 6-5 here in the bottom of the fourth. Rosales has a 2-0 as Rubino comes set, winds, delivers 3-0. 3 balls, no strikes as Terwilliger continues to warm up down in the Pioneers bullpen. Rubino winds and delivers. Fouled away, 3 balls, 1 strike. 3-1 count as Rubino sets back on the mound as they were waiting for the ball boy there to go get the ball behind the plate. So, Rosales waiting on the next pitch. Cut on, popped up. This should end the inning as Ruhlman will make the grab and Rosales finally retired. Pioneers still in the lead as they head to the top of the fifth, 6-5. A 4-run inning closes the gap. We'll see what the Pioneers can do when they go. All right, so Michael Rounds will go back to the hill. The Pioneers gonna have to find a way to solve him as the Watertown Rapids have come very close to tying this back up. We've got a 6-5 ball game here in the top of the fifth. Terwilliger warming up down in the pen. He had a rough outing against Geneva the other day, but we've seen a lot of positives out of. Haven't seen much of him out of the pen. We'll have to see if that comes to be. As now the last couple throws here for Michael Rounds. As you have to imagine, that'll be the end of the day for Noah Rubino as he sits down there in the bullpen having a conversation with some of the other hurlers. Terwilliger continuing to warm up down there. Trevor Henneman will be the first man to greet Michael Rounds here in the in the top of the fifth inning. Tomorrow night, the Pioneers do return back to historic Dunn Field as they'll be facing off against these same Watertown Rapids. Henneman as a leadoff batter. Again, 0-77 in 13 at-bats. See if he can improve on that here. He's 0-2 on the night. So Henneman waiting as Rubino changing into his warm-up shirt. So I'm going as Henneman takes 1-0 count. 1 ball, no strikes. As again, Henneman steps back in. Shadows still creeping out over the mound. Pitcher almost entirely in them now. Cut on and missed by Henneman. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 the count. As again, Rounds coming back set. He winds and delivers. Low, 2 balls, 1 strike. So 2 balls, 1 strike here as Michael rounds. Trying to get through another half an inning here, as the Pioneers would love to put some more runs up on the board. That one connected on through the middle, and Henneman's going to get on. So Henneman, 1 for 3 on the day, will bring up Bryce Moskowitz, who's 0 for 2, reached on an error earlier. Rubino returning towards the dugout, wearing his warm-up jacket. So I'm guessing Ben Terwilliger will be our pitcher in the bottom half of this inning. As now, Bryce Moskowitz coming up. The catcher tonight from the University of Pittsburgh. He waits. The windup here from Rounds is in there for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Nobody out as Trevor Henneman sits down on first base. First time tonight he's reached. Taking his signs from head coach Matt Birch over here on the third base side. Moskowitz to be followed by Buffington. The wind and pitch cut on, popped up back towards the parking lot area. It's going to get out of here. So a reminder to make the right decision. Insist on Gerber Collision and Auto Glass. As again, stepping back in is Moskowitz. He looks out. Rounds checking the runner over there on first base. The wind, the pitch is 2 balls, 1 strike. Nobody out here. As again, Moskowitz looking out. Rounds certainly having to work a little bit harder here in this half of an inning. The throw back to first, not in time, as Henneman makes it back. 6-5 lead for the Pioneers. Moskowitz looking out. Has Henneman on first. Henneman, very small lead over there. That one's high and inside. 3 balls, 1 strike. Moskowitz would certainly not object to reaching on base on balls. See if he can work that out here. As again, Michael Rounds comes back, signs and delivers. Cut on, grounded down the third base side. That one bounces on the third baseman, and that will reach base there for Bryce Moskowitz. As now there's runners on first and second, bringing up Quinn Buffington, who has 2 base on balls on the night. Buffington, no official at bats at this point. As now he steps back up. See what Quinn can do. As he looks out at the pitcher's mound. Buffington waiting. Looks out. As Rounds checks the runner at second. The wind, the pitch. Outside, 1 ball, no strikes. So, Rounds comes back set on the mound. Head coach Matt Birch giving signs to his runners as Quinn Buffington steps back in. Rounds checks the runner at second. Second baseman dancing over there along with the runner at second. Buffington puts bat on ball. That one's going to bounce in, and that will put runners on every base as that one gets over the third baseman's head, heads for home. And now the bases are loaded as Buffington gets his first hit of the night. That'll bring up Jeff Mejia. Mejia, 0-1, 2 bases on balls for him. He was caught stealing. As once again, Pioneers have the bases loaded and would love some insurance runs here as now the manager heads out to talk to Michael Rounds, who's had a very rough top of the 5th. See as Rounds having the conversation with the manager. And again, we'll have to see. Appears as though Rounds is going to stay in the game. Jeff Mejia would love to earn a couple of RBIs of his own. Pioneers, with runners on every base, have only been denied a run in the top of the fourth inning. So far, except for that, they had scored in every previous inning. See if Mejia can continue the trend here. Any play here should drive in a run. As Mejia steps back in. He waits. The wind, the pitch. Cut on and driven to the outfield. That's going to score one, and it'll keep the bases loaded as Mejia goes 1 for 2 on the day. So another RBI for the Pioneers as they increase the lead to 7-5. That'll bring up Brody Moore. Moore, 2 for 2 on the day, was hit back in his first outing. As now, see what the Pioneers can do here with the bases loaded one more time. Moore waits as rounds come set, winds and delivers. That one in there for ball one. 1-0. Still nobody out for the Pios here in the top of the fifth inning. Brody Moore continues to wait. Michael Rounds comes set, delivers. That one is almost by the catcher. 2 balls, no strikes. Good sell job by the catcher, Brody Moore, very aware, and told the runner at third to hold up. 2 balls, no strikes as Michael Rounds trying to get it together here. Been a rough hour as Rounds looks in. Comes back set. He winds and delivers. Moore takes strike 1, 2 balls, 1 strike. So Brody, fresh off the College World Series, was out there with the Auburn Tigers. As again, the wind and the pitch. Moore takes ball 3, 3 balls, 1 strike. Still nobody out in the top half of the fifth here as the Pioneers continue to work. Moore waiting. Rounds come set. He winds and delivers. Taken for ball 4. That's going to walk in another run as Brody Moore heads for first base. And you have to assume the Watertown manager will make an appearance after this. All right, that's going to do it on the day for Michael Rounds. As we'll see who's going to replace him. Whoever it is going to have bases loaded. That cannot be a comfortable feeling to come into. As again, Michael Rounds will turn over the baseball. And the manager will call for another new. And Elmira Pioneers have increased their lead to 8-5. We want to remind everybody that Elmira Enforcers tickets are now on sale. Season tickets. Get your tickets now. The early bird special has passed, but you still have a chance for great seats for the Elmira Enforcers second season. Don't forget, we come up here to Watertown to play them as well, the Wolves, as they have a logo on the outfield scoreboard there. The new pitcher, Spencer Vainovitz from Davenport, will make his appearance into the game. Vainovitz with a 1.06 ERA, 7 games he's appeared in, 17 innings pitched, 12 hits, 4 runs, 2 of them earned, 11 bases on balls, and 15 strikeouts. So the numbers are impressive. Have to see how he can do here as he relieves Michael Rounds. As Vainovitz will come in here and try to get the job done against a Pioneers batting staff that has really been doing the job here tonight. Preston Moore will be the first one to greet him. Preston, so far this year, with the bases loaded, is 1 for 1. So a perfect 1,000 batting average for Preston Moore. Give Vainovitz a couple more throws before Pioneers bats will come back and do the job. Umpire getting out of the sun for a little bit here, trying to cool down. As once again, Vainovitz taking his warm-up tosses as a left-handed pitcher. Don't see a ton of those here in the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League. As again, Vainovitz continues to get loose. Preston Moore trying to get his timing down as he watches from just outside that home plate area. He's looking right down as now the umpire calls for Preston Moore, and the bases will go back to being loaded. Buffington 90 feet from home, Mejia back on second, and Brody Moore over on first base. So again, Preston Moore heads to the dish. Preston, freshman infielder from Samford College, had 47 starts in his freshman year. Impressive for anyone, I'll tell you what. As Moore comes back set, he looks out. Vanovitz getting ready for his first pitch. He winds and delivers. Cut on and fouled back there by Preston Moore. No balls, one strike. As again, Vanovitz scratching around the mound. He looks in as Preston waits on his next pitch, wants to drive in another run and increase this Pioneers lead. Cut on and fouled away again. No balls, two strikes. Have put Preston Moore behind in the count. As I said, Moore was watching Vanovitz warm up. He was trying to figure out the timing. Now he's had a couple of good looks of it from the batter's box. Pitch cut on and hit hard out towards the outfield. This should allow, and that will score a run as the runner advances from second to third. Staying put at first base was Brody Moore. So a sac fly from Preston Moore scores the RBI, and that'll bring up Mason Ruhlman. So Ruhlman steps up. He'll be the first lefty to face the left-handed hurler. Ruhlman waiting as Vanovitz begins his windup and throws. Ruhlman cuts on it right down the first base line, eats up the first baseman for a second. That will score the run on the ground out from Ruhlman as he gets onto the RBI track. And the Pioneers now have a 10-5 lead as Garrett Schultz heads for the dish. So 2 outs, runner at second. Schultz will still get to bat with a runner in scoring position. 2 for 3 on the day, does have 3 RBIs. If Schultz can get a single here, you would imagine he'd be able to make that 4 on the day. So Vanovitz coming set. He's gotten 2 outs very quickly since entering the game. The wind, the pitch inside on Garrett Schultz as he will step out. So 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Pioneers now have 4 runs in response to the 4 runs that were put up by the Watertown Rapids in the bottom of the 4th. Vanovitz looking in. He winds and delivers. Inside, almost got away from the catcher there. 2 balls, no strikes. 2-0 count as the Pioneers looking to add to their lead a little bit more. 10-5 here in the top of the 5th inning. As Garrett Schultz looks out. Vanovitz, 2-0 count. He winds and deals. Low again, 3 balls, no strikes. Vanovitz waiting. Gets the ball back as Garrett Schultz getting ready. Still warming in the bullpen, Ben Terwilliger. You would imagine that he would be the next man up for the Elmira Pioneers heading into the bottom of the 5th inning. Terwilliger normally a starter, so he may go for a number of innings here. Vanovitz comes set. He winds and delivers. In there for ball 4. 4 straight pitches for a walk on Garrett Schultz, as now the Pioneers have runners at first and second, and Trey Harmon comes to the dish. Harmon 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts, as Harmon's going to be looking to help out the Pioneers' cause a little bit here. Harmon waits. Vanovitz looking in. He'll be looking to throw a strike here right off the cuff. 2 outs in the inning. 1 out away from getting out of this top of the 5th. The Pioneers have really run roughshod over Watertown in this top half of the inning. The windup, the pitch is in there for a strike, so gets the ball count broken up. As again, Harmon looking out. He waits. Vanovitz comes back set on the mound. Winds and delivers. Harmon takes ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Pioneers leading 10-5. Scored 4 runs in this half of the inning already. Vanovitz looking in. Harmon waits. Vanovitz comes set. Winds, delivers. Harmon takes strike number 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. As Trey Harmon trying to get bat on ball here. He is 0 for 3 on the night with 2 strikeouts. Has been a rough go of it for Trey Harmon so far. Vanovitz waits. Has his sign. Comes back set. He winds and delivers. Cut on and missed by Harmon as he strikes out for the 3rd time tonight. That is going to do it for the top of the 5th. Pioneers regain the 5-run advantage, 10-5. As we head for the bottom of the 5th inning, we'll have a new pitcher, and we'll tell you all about Ben Terwilliger when we come back here on Mixlr.com. All right, so as promised, a brand new pitcher for the Elmira Pioneers. Ben Terwilliger takes to the hill. Terwilliger this season, 2.66 ERA, 6 games, 4 starts, 1 save, 20.1 innings pitched, 7 hits, 6 runs, all of them earned, 21 bases on balls, 29 strikeouts. Terwilliger had a really good start to the season, then ran into those red-hot Geneva Red Wings. And now he's going to try to get some confidence back as he will go to work here in the bottom of the 5th. A little bit surprised seeing some action out there in the bullpen already. First pitch. Terwilliger, of course, normally a starter, so not, I guess, terribly surprising, but Connor Takis is up there stretching as Drake Smith and the sounds of the Lion King once more time. He'll be the first to welcome Ben Terwilliger into the game. Drake Smith 0 for 2, grounded into a double play. As we'll see what Terwilliger can do with him here. Head coach Matt Birch not going to waste much time as he's got Takis warming up already. Doesn't want to have 1-0. We'll start things off for Ben Terwilliger. Talked about it. Terwilliger had the issues with the Geneva Red Wings back on Sunday in the game 1 of the doubleheader. Ball 2, 2 balls, no strikes. Walks had a big part to do with it. Terwilliger hit the first batter he faced and then walked 3 more in the top of the 1st. Terwilliger comes set. He winds, delivers, fouled off, and that will be the first strike. 2 balls, 1 strike. Want to remind everybody once again, make the right decision. Insist on Gerber Collision and Auto Glass. Terwilliger steps off the mound for a moment. Now we'll step back in as Drake Smith trying to break his 0 for on the day. He's 0 for 2 with the double play. The wind and the pitch. High, 3 balls, 1 strike. So the shadows are all the way out to the outfield now. Should be very close to the time when we can start reading the scoreboard yet again from here in my vantage point. The wind, the pitch, grounded into the plate. 4 pitches end up in the ball category. And that will put Drake Smith on first for the first time tonight. James Crick had with runners. Crick batting .261 in 23 at bats, including a home run, a couple of RBIs, as he has 9 of them. See, as the leadoff man reaches base on the walk, the next pitch is high, 1 ball, no strikes. So Terwilliger looking a little reminiscent of his struggles back on Sunday afternoon. Terwilliger checks the runner over at first, comes set, winds and delivers. In there for a strike, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out. Runner stands on first base. Terwilliger has his sign. Checks the runner. As again. Terwilliger back on the mound. He looks. Checks the runner at first. Comes set. And delivers. Cut on. Right out towards center field. Buffington has a read and makes the grab. First out of the inning as James Crick goes down. That'll bring up Vinny DeRubius. DeRubius, no official at bats, 2 bases on balls so far on the evening. So DeRubius comes up with a runner on first base. With runners on, he's batting $179 in 39 appearances. However, he's got a home run and 9 RBIs. We'll have to see if that plays a factor here as Terwilliger trying to put up a 0 again. The throw over is not in time as Terwilliger heads back to the mound. Terwilliger's working out of the stretch here. Something he had to do a lot of on Sunday. He throws over, and that is in time. He catches the runner leaning, and Terwilliger earns the second out as he gets his man after Drake Smith was leaning a little bit too far. So, DeRubius up there, still 2 base on balls, has not had a plate appearance as of tonight. Terwilliger looking. And you hear the helmet slam there from Smith. He was not happy about that. First quick strike. No balls, 1 strike. As DeRubius waits on the next pitch. Terwilliger trying to make quick work of the bottom of the 5th inning. Connor Tack is still stretching out there in the bullpen. In there for strike 2, 0-2 quickly here. As again, Pioneers pitcher Ben Terwilliger back out there. Had a rough Sunday. Seems to have fixed problems he was having. Pitch is in there for ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Pioneers with a 10-5 lead. As again, Vinny DeRubius up there at the dish. Coming back set is Terwilliger. He cut on, and that one's going to get back towards the parking lot. Another opportunity to remind you to make the right decision. Insist on Gerber Collision and 1 more strike to get himself out of the bottom of the 5th. Pioneer. The pitch from Terwilliger is in there for strike 3, and that will do it for that half of the inning. 10-5 as we head for the top of the 6th. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixler.com. All right, we're heading for the top of the sixth. The Pioneers looking to do some more damage. Been a good start for the Pios so far. A 10-5 lead. 2 runs in the first, 3 in the second, 1 in the third, and 4 in the fifth. As the Pioneers will head back to the plate. Spencer Vanovitz still going out there on the mound in his second inning of work now. Going to be Trevor Henneman heading for the dish. We talked earlier about Henneman having a bit of a struggle leading things off. He got things going, though, as we'll see if he can keep it going. So, Henneman steps up. And he looks out. Vanovitz coming set. Connor Talk is still warming out there in the bullpen. Vanovitz winds and delivers in there for strike 1. 0-1 count to the Pioneers' leadoff man, Trevor Henneman, playing first base tonight. As Henneman looks out, the wind and pitch from Vanovitz cut on and fouled away down towards the Pioneers' bullpen. So no balls, 2 strikes to lead things off here. As again, Pioneers first baseman Trevor Henneman stepping out for just a moment. Stepping back in, he looks out towards Vanovitz on the mound. Vanovitz comes set. The wind, the pitch, cut on by Henneman right back towards the dugout and into the stands. As now the Pioneers trying to add to their lead, a 10-5 lead right now. Pioneers stat line, 10 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors. The stat line for Watertown, 5 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors. As the windup and pitch from Vanovitz, cut on, grounded down the third baseline, picked up by the third baseman, tossed over to first and in time as Henneman goes down 1 for 4. That'll bring up Bryce Moskowitz. Moskowitz 1 for 3. He reached on an error today as well. As the Excellus bat boy heads out to pick up the bat for the Pioneers. So, Moskowitz going back to work here. Trying to find contact and keep this inning alive for the Elmira Pioneers, who are looking to extend the win streak to 2 here after a solid come from behind last night in the bottom of the 9th. Moskowitz takes ball 1. Buffington on deck, so the Watertown Rapids facing the bottom part of the order here, 7, 8, and 9, trying to get through the top of the 6th. That one is in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. A Tioga Down showdown. Only place you can see kart horse racing. Quite a fun little sport. Stop on down to Tioga Downs, check it out. As Bryce Moskowitz waiting. That one is in there for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As again, the Elmira Pioneers trying to work their way through and get more men on base. Every hit they've had has counted as a run as well, 10 and 10. That one fouled away there. 1 ball, 2 strikes as Moskowitz keeps himself alive. See what he can do here. Moskowitz steps back in. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out as Vanovitz goes back to the mound. Staring in as Vanovitz comes set. Winds and delivers. Taken for a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. As again, Moskowitz keeping himself alive down there. Quentin Buffington on deck. Vanovitz comes set. Looking in. Has his sign and delivers. Taken for ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Coming all the way back now is Moskowitz. As Bryce Moskowitz stepping back in. He looks. Vanovitz coming set. He winds and delivers. Cut on and fouled away just in front of the Pioneers dugout. So Moskowitz will go right back to work here. Steps back into the batter's box. as Vanovich comes set out on the mound. He looks in. Moskowitz waiting on the pitch. Vanovich has his sign. Winds and delivers. Fouled away there by Moskowitz. Staying alive one more time. So Vanovich having to throw a lot of pitches here in this at bat. As again, Moskowitz looking out. The wind, the pitch. Taken for ball 4. Moskowitz will head down to first base. And Quinn Buffington will come up with a runner on board. Buffington, a perfect 1-for-1 on the night. 2 bases on balls as well. So we'll see what Quinn can do with a runner on first. One out as head coach Matt Birch gives the signs to the runner and the hitter. Jeff Mejia waits on deck now as the Pioneers have but 1 out. And now we can officially read the scoreboard. As again, Vanovich coming back set. Looks over at the runner on first. Moskowitz gets back in time. As Vanovich kind of drifted over there as he threw over to first. Buffington awaiting on the first pitch of his at-bat. As now Vanovich checks the runner again. Moskowitz takes his lead. Vanovich comes set, delivers, and that one low. 1 ball, no strikes. A little bit of trouble holding on to the ball back behind the plate for George Rosales. Buffington steps back in. 1-0 count, only 1 out, as the Pioneers trying to keep things going here in the top of the 6th inning. Vanovich winds and delivers. That one gets by the catcher all the way to the backstop. Easy move up to second base there for the Pioneers catcher tonight, Bryce Moskowitz. So Moskowitz advances on the pass ball. As again, 1 out in the inning. Spencer Vanovich trying to push his way through the 6th inning of work here. Pioneers not going down easily tonight. As Vanovich comes back set. Checks the runner back on second. The wind and the pitch. High. Ball 3. 3-0. 3 balls, no strikes, as Buffington, who already has 2 walks on the night, also 1-for-1, has a stolen base, was also caught stealing. As Vanovich comes set, he winds, delivers, and in there for a strike. 3-1 count. 3 balls, 1 strike, as the Pioneers have a runner in scoring position. Buffington to be followed by Mejia. Vanovich coming back set, he winds and delivers. Cut on and missed. 3 balls, 2 strikes, as Buffington swung through that one. Buffington stepping back in. Buffington looking out. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. The wind, the pitch is in there for a strike and on strikes. So that will bring up Jeff Mejia. Mejia 1-for-2 on the night, 2 bases on balls, has an RBI. As Mejia steps back into the box. Lefty versus lefty here. As Mejia would love to get a single and drive in that runner back from second base. Mejia waiting. Vanovich coming set. He winds and deals a little bit high, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Mejia trying to keep the inning alive. Also trying to put a run across the plate. The only inning the Pios hadn't scored in before this one here is the 4th. The wind and pitch from Vanovich is hit Mejia. So Mejia will head down to first base. He was hit by the pitch, and that will bring up Brody Moore. Brody Moore, perfect 2-for-2, was hit by a pitch and walked. as Brody Moore comes up to Baby Shark. Always interesting to hear the walk-up songs for the opposing team. So, Brody Moore waits. As again, runners at first and second. Vanovitz comes set. He delivers high 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. As Spencer Vanovitz trying desperately to. Vanovitz wipes his brow, steps back onto the rubber. Brody Moore waiting on his next pitch. The wind, the pitch. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes. So 2-0 the count. Preston Moore standing on deck. Brody waiting on the next pitch from Vanovitz. As again, the wind and the pitch. Low gets away from the catcher momentarily, but not far enough to warrant any movement by the runners. 3 balls, no strikes. As Brody looks out. Top of the 6th inning. Pioneers lead 10-5. Vanovitz looking. Comes back set. Winds and delivers. In there for a strike, right down the gut. 3 balls, 1 strike. As again, waiting. Moore. The pitch. Cut on. Hit down the line, and that's going to be fair. That will score a run. And that brings around Mejia going to third base, and the double will drive home a run for Brody Moore. Moore goes 3 for 3 on the day, and will finally get a run scored as he doubles. Preston Moore will head for the dish as Vanovitz unable to put up the 0 there. Preston Moore, 2 for 3, has a sac fly as well. So he does have an RBI on the day. Would love to get one more. Also, Preston Moore trying to avoid letting the fans eat tacos. He is the K-man of the game here. So Moore waiting. The wind, the pitch. In there for a strike. No balls, 1 strike to Preston Moore. Moore looking. Vanovitz comes back set. The wind and pitch. High, 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. So Preston Moore looking to put a ball into play and score a couple more runs for the Pioneers. Vanovitz comes back set. He winds and delivers inside, 2 balls, 1 strike. 2-1 count, 2 outs already against the Pioneers as Preston Moore tries to keep the inning alive. Vanovitz looking in. Winds and delivers. Hits Moore right in the back. And so Moore will head down to first base on the hit by pitch. That'll bring up Mason Ruhlman. Ruhlman 0 for 2 on the night. Base on balls, was hit by a pitch, has an RBI. And Vanovitz coming back up. Lefty versus lefty here as Preston Moore takes a stroll trying to work out the plunk he just took. So I believe the catcher is going to go to give him a little bit of time. As now, Vanovitz and his catcher mulling things over here with Mason Ruhlman coming up. Ruhlman will be the next batter. He's got the bases loaded. With the bases loaded, Mason Ruhlman 0 for 3, but does have 3 RBIs. Going to be a little bit harder to make that work tonight. Have to get a hit to score a run here. Could walk, but Mason's certainly one of those players for the Pioneers who likes to swing the bat. As again, the Pioneers have an 11-5 lead here in the top of the 6th inning. Ruhlman waiting on Vanovitz's next pitch. The wind and the pitch. In there for a strike, 0-1. So Ruhlman waiting. He looks out. As Vanovitz comes back set. He winds and delivers. Cut on by Ruhlman, grounded on the first baseline. Foul as assistant coach Andrew Drum tosses the ball back towards the Pioneers dugout. So everything will reset. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. As Mason Ruhlman looking to make contact here and drive in another run with the bases loaded. The windup and the pitch. Cut on and missed by Ruhlman, as that will end the inning. Ruhlman goes down for the 3rd time, and now the Pioneers will go back to the field here for the bottom of the 6th inning. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixlr.com. All right, and with that, we are back here live from Alex T. Duffy Fairgrounds as the Elmira Pioneers hanging on 11-5 right now. They'll bring in a brand new pitcher as Connor Takis heads in. Takis, 10.39 ERA, 1 win, 2 losses, 7 games he's been in, 1 start, 13 innings, 26 hits, 20 runs, 15 of them earned, 8 bases on balls, and 13 strikeouts. So Takis looking to improve his numbers here tonight. As the Pioneers do have a 6-run lead, having scored in every inning but the 4th. See if Connor Takis can help keep that going as Tony Sochi comes up. Sochi, 143 as a leadoff hitter, has batted 14 times in this spot, walked 4. See what Connor Takis can fire out of the pen here. Connor comes set. He winds and delivers. Cut on and missed with his first pitch. Takis at Albany. As Connor comes set. He looks in. Coming back set. He winds up and delivers. Low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, the Rapids, 12 offensive outs remaining. That means the Pioneers are 12 defensive outs away from putting up a 2nd consecutive victory. That's in there for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So a 1-2 count. As the Pioneers trying to work their way through the late innings here. Trying to get through the 2nd third of the game at this point. Just need 3 outs to do that. The pitch from Takis is in there for a ball. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, says the University of Albany prospect, trying to keep things moving along. Takis comes back set. He winds and delivers. Cut on, grounded down the third base line, scooped up there. Preston Moore fires and in time as he gets the out. And the local fans are not happy. and hearing some objections from the Watertown faithful. But that will bring up Jonathan Catapano. 0 for 2, reached on an error, drove in an RBI. So again, as Catapano sets up, looks in, see what Catapano can do here. As I said, 0 for 2, has a reached on the pitch in there for ball number 1, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. As Catapano will take the next pitch from Connor Takis. Takis winds, deals. 2 balls, no strikes. 2-0, 1 out. As again, Takis winds and delivers. Bounces in ball 3, 3-0. 3 balls, no strikes, 1 out. As you'd have to assume this next one will be pretty close to down the gut, as the Pioneers trying to get themselves back out of another inning. The pitch is in there for ball 4. So Takis 4 straight pitches for a walk, as Catapano will now reside on first. That brings up the number 8 hitter, Danny DeMarzo, 0 for 2. He has reached on an error and struck out. So DeMarzo looking out. Takis winds and delivers. Ball 5. As Takis goes right back to work here. Connor looking in. He's got 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The wind and the pitch. Low. 2 balls, no strikes. So 6 straight balls from Connor Takis as he's trying to find his way through the bottom of the 6th. Does not want to give Watertown any breathing room. They can certainly score in bunches. As Takis throws over to first, not in time. And again, Takis looking. Comes back set. He winds and delivers. 3 balls, no strikes. As the Pioneers need Takis to throw strikes here. Takis comes back set. He winds and delivers. High, ball 8. And now runners at first and second. As the number 9 hitter comes up, this is Brandon Taylor. Taylor 1 for 1 on the day, has a base on balls, a double, an RBI, and a stolen base. So, the Watertown third base coach going to talk to the umpire. As again, Takis will go back to work here. Runners at first and second. So runner in scoring position for the man in the 9th position in the batting order. As again, Takis looking in. Taylor looking for a hit to get Watertown back on the offensive side of this. He pops one up, and this is going to get too far out of play. As we remind you once again, make the right decision. Insist on Gerber Collision and Auto Glass. Taylor 0-1, breaks up the 8 consecutive balls in a row. Taylor looking. Takis comes back set. He winds and delivers. Cut on and hit out there towards right. That's getting down. Picked up and thrown quickly by Schultz. That will send the runner in to score as nobody was back there to play. And the Watertown Rapids score as Connor Takis was not where he should have been to stop everything there. Runners now stand at second and third as the score is cut to 11-6. Nobody moving down there in the Pioneers bullpen. So Taylor will go 2 for 2 on the day. And now we see somebody running down for the bullpen. I believe that's Alex Bardo. We'll have to see. As again, Tagus looks in. As again, Dylan Sanchez comes up 0 for 2. He struck out, has a base on ball. The windup and the pitch. Cut on and missed by Sanchez. 0 1. No balls, 1 strike. As Connor Takus goes back to work here. Takus looking in. He comes set. Winds and delivers. Cut on. Hit down. Picked up by the shortstop. And that's going to score a run. So an RBI as Sanchez goes 1 for 3. And the Pioneers now leading just 11 to 7. So George Rosales will come up to the dish. Now a new pitcher warming up for the Pioneers down there. I am pretty sure that is number 5, which would be Tom Catania. As again, he wind up and the pitch. In there for a strike. No balls, 1 strike. As again, having a little bit of trouble in this part of the inning. Came in, got the first out fairly quickly, but now Connor Takus struggling as he's given up 2 runs here. That one bounces up, and 1 ball, 1 strike here. As Takus coming back set again. He looks in. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out, another tag down showdown. As Takus comes back set, steps off, and fakes the throw back to second. Takus still has a 4-run lead as Catania getting warmed up out there in the bullpen. Steps off, and so once again, a ball appeared out there in right field. As Takus looking in. George Rosales up at the plate, 1 for 3. Would love to get him to ground into a double play and get out of this bottom of the 6th. Takus coming set. He winds and delivers. Cut on and fouled away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Takus trying to make his way through the bottom of the 6th inning. Runners at first and second. As Takus looks in, checks the runner back at second. Now he will turn his attention to home. Wind, deal, cut on and missed. He strikes out Rosales. And now the Pioneers need just 1 out as Drake Smith heads up to the dish. He's 0 for 2, grounded into a double play, walked, and was picked off over there on first base. So we'll see what Takus can do here. Catania continues to stretch and get loose out there in the bullpen. Would imagine we'll see him in the 7th if Takus can get through the bottom of the 6th. Connor looks in. Pioneers do still have a 4-run lead. Takus comes set. He winds and delivers. Fouled off here. This is going to be not playable as it gets over the fence. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. As Connor Takus heads back to the mound. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. He looks in. Drake Smith trying to keep the inning alive for Watertown. Watertown with 10 offensive outs remaining. The windup and the pitch. He did not go. So, they're saying he went, so he did go. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As now, third base coach arguing on the strike call. And this is resulting in a face-to-face confrontation here. 1 ball, 2 strike count, 2 outs. As Takis and Moskowitz talking out there. So the third base coach did not approve of the call. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. As Connor Takis trying to work his way through the bottom of the 6th. 1 pitch away here. As again, Takis comes set. Moves in to wind up. Winds and deals. Cut on and fouled back. So another reminder to make the right decision. Insist on Gerber Collision and Auto Glass. As the Pioneers continue to lead 11-7. As again, Takis going back to work. As the windup, the pitch is low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. As we are in another Tauga Down showdown. Takis trying to make the final out here. See what he can do. The wind, the pitch, cut on, grounded down the third base side, scooped up, thrown over to first, and not in time. As unable to beat it in was Preston Moore. So Smith is now 1 for 3. James Crick, who has not had a great day at the plate, going to be attempting to find his way through here. Not sure what's going on here. As again, this will bring some balls over. I guess I wasn't sure what the pause was about there. As now, Pioneers lead 11-7. The tying run is now at home plate as James Crick, 0 for the day, trying to change that against Connor Takis. The wind and the pitch. Outside, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. Takis coming back set. He winds and delivers. Popped up and towards the booth. In time is Preston Moore, and that will end the inning as he makes the catch in foul territory. Crick will go 0 for 4 on the day, and the Pioneers will head back to the batter's box. Still up 11-7. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixlr.com. All right, Pioneers fans, the Pioneers 11-7 lead here as we head for the top of the 7th inning. And we'll see what the Pioneers can do here. It's going to be an interesting top of the 7th as they have some work to do as the first man up is Garrett Schultz. They want to keep that run in every inning going. The only inning they missed was the top of the 4th. Garrett Schultz will lead things off. He's 2 for 3, a base on balls, a strikeout, 3 RBIs. Schultz waiting as he will face off once again with Spencer Vanovitz. Vanovitz still in the game despite a few struggles last half inning. And the first pitch is connected with as Schultz will move to 3 for 4 on the day. That's going to bring up Trey Harmon. Harmon 0 for 4 on the day, 3 strikeouts as he tries to avoid the golden sombrero. Speaking of strikeouts, Garrett Schultz has kept these fans from their tacos today, 3 for 4 day. So it doesn't appear as though tacos are on the horizon for the trip home for the Watertown fans. Trey Harmon takes strike 1. He didn't like that, thought it was a little low. We'll see what Garrett Schultz can do over there on first base. Harmon looking out as Vanovitz comes set. He winds and delivers. Cut on by Harmon, and that one's hit hard. That one is high, far, and out of here as Trey Harmon rounds the bases. Harmon breaks his offer as he puts one over the fence. And that home run will put 2 up on the board, 13-7 in favor of the Elmira Pioneers. As now, Trevor Henneman will head for the dish. Henneman 1 for 4. As now everything kind of resets, Vanovitz will go back to work here as the Pioneers have a 13-7 lead, leading by 6 runs here in the top of the 7th. Henneman looks out. Vanovitz winds and deals. Henneman takes strike number 1. No balls, 1 strikes to the freshman from Canisius College, originally from Corning, New York. As Henneman waits, he swings. No balls, 2 strikes. Quick 2 strikes, nobody out here for the Pioneers as they have a 13-7 lead, leading by 6 after the Trey Harmon home run. A no-doubter off the bat. So now the catcher actually going to retrieve his own foul ball there. The Pioneers continue the streak. They have scored in every inning but the top of the 4th at this point of the game. Still 2 innings to go. As we bat here in the top of the 6th, the Pioneers catcher, first baseman today, Trevor Henneman, going back to work. The windup and the pitch. Inside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. So it's all about building up that stat line here. If you're the Elmira Pioneers. See, the pitching staff has sat down out there in the Pioneers bullpen. That one cut on, hit out towards the shortstop, scooped up, and the throw over to first is in time. Henneman will go 1 for 5 on the day. That'll bring up Bryce Moskowitz. Moskowitz 1 for 3, reached on an error and had a base on balls today. So Moskowitz heading up for the dish, to be followed by Quinn Buffington. As once again, in comes Moskowitz. He's looking out. Vanovitz trying to keep things going here. The pitch is swung on there. As the umpire put his hands up, called the ball. So apparently check swing. That one cut on, grounded down the first base line and stays foul. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. A Tioga Down showdown here as the Pioneers lead 13-7. Trey Harmon has a home run. And that one came just a couple of minutes ago, if any of you missed that. Trey Harmon with a no-doubter out to right field. Now Bryce Moskowitz up. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Reached on an error. Had a base on balls. Now they've changed it. It is no balls, 2 strikes. So, stat was corrected. As again, Moskowitz waits. The wind, the pitch. Cut on, grounded up the middle, and the second baseman stops the ball. Is not going to get it in time as Moskowitz will reach and go 2 for 4 on the day. That brings up Quinn Buffington. Buffington 1 for 2. Does have 2 bases on balls as well. See what Quinn can do here as he looks to extend his streak. Got a runner on first base. The Pioneers, 2 runs already here in the top of the 7th. 13-7 lead. As now, Vanovitz comes set, winds, delivers. Buffington takes strike number 1. No balls, 1 strike. As Vanovitz steps back onto the mound. He's looking. Buffington waits. The pitch. Past the catcher. Going to quickly move Moskowitz down to second base. And that will give Buffington a runner in scoring position. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. A Tioga Down showdown. As we're here in the top of the 7th inning. Buffington waits. As Vanovitz steps off the mound, now he steps back onto the rubber. Looking in. Comes back set. He winds and delivers. Cut on by Buffington. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As Mejia waits in the on-deck circle. So, Vanovitz waiting. He looks in. Steps off, and now we'll reset. Vanovitz looking in. Checks the runner back at second. He winds and delivers. Cut on, popped up here behind the plate. And that one is going to get out of the fan area. So a reminder once again, make the right decision. Insist on Gerber Collision and Auto Glass. Pioneers, 13-7 lead here. They have responded every time a run has been scored by Watertown. Watertown scored 1 in the 2nd. The Pioneers scored 1 in the 3rd. 4 in the 4th. 4 in the 5th. Another foul off there by Quinn Buffington. And then again, most recently, 2 in the bottom of the 6th. And now the Pioneers have 2 in the top of the 7th. It has been tit for tat as far as what Watertown's able to put on the board. Buffington looking again. As Vanovitz comes set. He winds and delivers. Buffington swings and fouls that one off. As that will keep him alive. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. As Quinn Buffington looking for some solid connection. Would love to drive around Moskowitz. As more balls being delivered out to the home plate umpire. Again, these 2 teams will match up tomorrow on the 4th of July holiday before the Elmira Pioneers will meet up with Team Canada Friday and Saturday night in an exhibition matchup. The windup and the pitch is bounced up to the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So come on out this weekend. Watch Team USA and Team Canada get it on at historic Dunn Field. Buffington. 2 balls, 2 strike count. He waits. The wind and pitch. Cut on, connected on solidly out towards the outfield. Moskowitz retreats back towards second. Center fielder makes the catch. And Moskowitz bluffs towards third, but he won't move along anywhere. Buffington now 1 for 3. As that will bring up Jeff Mejia. Mejia 1 for 2. 2 bases on balls. Was hit by a pitch. Has an RBI. So it's been a good night for Jeff Mejia so far. As with a 13-7 lead, the Pioneers will be trying to add another run to their repertoire here. 13-7. Mejia looks out. Vanovitz comes back set. The wind, the pitch, cut on by Mejia, fouled away. No balls, 1 strike. As the Pioneers just 9 defensive outs away from a victory here. Mejia stepping right back in. He waits as Vanovitz looks in. Winds and delivers. Taken for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. As the middle of the 7th will be coming up, that means the 7th inning stretch is on deck. See if Mejia can prolong that a little bit longer. The windup and the pitch. Mejia cuts and misses. Mejia will go down on strikes, and the Pioneers will head to the middle of the 7th and back out to the outfield. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixlr.com. All right, so Vinny DeRubius comes back up to the dish. He connects on the first pitch he sees. Fly ball to Buffington. And the first out is an easy one for Tom Catania. Sorry about that, fans. I'm trying to get my breath back. So, Catania back in the game as the fourth pitcher for the Pioneers. Sochi takes strike number 1. Sochi coming up against Catania here. Catania usually really good through a full inning of work. This season, he has a 9 ERA, 1 win, 3 appearances, 5 innings pitched, 8 hits, 8 runs, 5 of them earned, 3 base on balls, and 3 strikeouts. As again, Catania falls behind 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out here. As he looks to make his way through the bottom of the 7th. The windup and the pitch, low, 3 balls, 1 strike. Catania heads back to the mound as he looks in, trying to get Sochi out of here. 1 for 3 is Sochi on the day. That is too low. Sochi's going to take the walk. That'll bring up Jonathan Catapano, excuse me. Catapano 0 for 2. Base on balls, reached on an error and drove in a run. As Catania will be looking to induce the ground ball. Catania looking out. Coming set on the mound. He'll work out of the stretch for the first time. Pioneers lead 13-7. Bottom of the 7th here. Strike 1 from Catania. Catania heads back to the mound. He looks in as Catapano set at the plate. The windup and the pitch. Cut on and popped up. This should be able to be played. And not able to get there was the catcher. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. As the Pioneers will go back to work. Catania really would have loved to have that out. As Catapano, though he's 0 for the day, still made some pretty good contact, so we'll see. Catania stepping back on the mound. He and Rubino played together in high school. As again, Catania looking. He winds and delivers. As that's outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. As Catania trying to keep things going. Catania winds. He delivers. Runner is off. Up and throwing. And that is an out there. And a strikeout, I believe. There's argument at the plate. Hold on. They called him safe at second, apparently. Not sure how Mason missed that tag. But there was a strikeout back at home plate on Catapano. So, Catapano strikes out. That'll bring up Danny DeMarzo. DeMarzo 0 for 2 on the day. Reached on an error, struck out, base on balls. Runner somehow was safe back at second. Not sure, once again, how that tag was missed. 1-0 the count. 2 outs. As Catania looks down. Catania winds, deals, popped up. Catania points to the sky, gets out of the way. Nobody knows where it is, and it lands right on the pitcher's mound. That is going to score a run. Mason Ruhlman lost it in the lights, as did every other infielder. So it's a 13-8 ball game. And though Catania thought he was about to get out of the inning, he will have to battle another batter. So, DeMarzo gets a hit. Pioneers stay in the field, and that brings up Brandon Taylor. Taylor's 1 for 2 on the night with a base on balls and a double. As again, Catania winds, delivers. That one is fouled off. No balls, 1 strike. Couple of pop-outs that were missed coming back to rear their ugly heads on the Pioneers. Catania looking in. He comes set. Fakes the throw over, and now he actually does throw. Didn't think he was actually going to go there the way he paused. Rubino and he went to the same high school. Similar pickoff move. The wind, the pitch. Outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs. As Catania goes back to the hill. He looks in. Comes back set. Winds and delivers. In there for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs as Tom Catania looks to make the final out of the bottom of the 7th. Catania looks in, trying to get the number 9 batter. The line, the pitch, cut on and missed, and Catania gets out of the inning as he puts Taylor down with the strikeout. We'll be back with the top of the 8th here in Watertown as the Pioneers continue to lead 13-8. All right, and with that, we are back here. A brand new pitcher to face the Pioneers. Kalani Zaire out of St. Lawrence will take to the hill. He's got a 4.5 ERA, has been in just one game, pitched 2 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. That 1 run was earned, and he accomplished 2 strikeouts as well. So this is the 4th pitcher of the night for the Watertown Rapids. Zaire takes his last few warm-up pitches, and then the Pioneers will get their chance to come back to the dish. Pioneers, who have been successful, scoring a run in every inning. The last 2 came on the home run from Trey Harmon. As warming up right now, I believe that's Brody Moore stretching out there in the on-deck circle. So the final throw from Kalani Zaire gets thrown down and back towards the middle infield before Brody Moore heads to the dish. Brody Moore, 3 for 3, was hit by a pitch, walked, hit a double, and has an RBI on the night. See what Brody can do here. As again, Brody Moore looking to stay perfect on the night, 3 for 3. The windup and the pitch taken for strike number 1 here in the top of the 8th. Pioneers 6 defensive outs away from a victory, leading by 5. Zaire looking, the wind, the pitch, cut on, and ground ball towards the middle of the infield, picked up by the shortstop, and in time to get Brody Moore. So Moore's perfect night broken up there as he will head back to the dugout. No, excuse me, he was safe. I thought he was out. Umpire's signal implied that he was. Apparently he was safe. So, all right, they're saying the first baseman's foot came off the bag, so never mind. Moore goes 4 for 4. As now Preston Moore will go to work. One more attempt to try to deny these fans tacos. Preston Moore, 2 for 3, sac fly, RBI, and was hit by a pitch. As Preston looks out, he waits. The windup and pitch. As again, Kalani's there, trying to get through the top of the 8th inning here. Starting to smell something around the Watertown ballpark. Somebody must be barbecuing. As Preston Moore waits, he takes ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. As Preston Moore tonight's K-Man, the taco chant from the fans right in front of me. As Kalani Moore trying to get his fans some tacos. The line, the pitch, bounce behind, and that's going to get Brody Moore to second base. 3 balls, 2 strikes, no out. Going to hear that taco chant one more time. As once again, Preston Moore trying to deny as Moore steps back in. Moore winds and delivers. Cut on, and it keeps them from their tacos. This is going to score a run as Brody Moore runs around third. He will get in to score. Preston stands on second, and no tacos for Watertown as the Pioneers continue to pile on here. As now we should be given tacos for the bus ride home. As once again, the Pioneers come up to the dish. This is Mason Ruhlman. Ruhlman 0 for 3 on the night. Base on balls, was hit by a pitch, has an RBI, and a strikeout. The windup and the pitch. Bounced up to the plate. 1-0. As the fans catcalling about their tacos. As once again, Mason Ruhlman trying to get on base here tonight. The pitch cut on and fouled back. 1 ball, 1 strike. We're here in the top of the 8th inning. The Pioneers have put up a run, meaning they have once again scored in every inning but the top of the 4th. As again, Ruhlman looking. The windup and the pitch. Cut on and missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes here. Ruhlman doing the best he can do here, trying to put a hit on the board. Tough night for Mason with the 0 for 3. Has a runner on second. As the windup and the pitch. Bounced up to the plate. Stays in front of the catcher. So that'll keep the runner right where he is. Preston Moore still standing on second base. 2 balls, 2 strike count. Pioneers leading 14-8 at this point. As now the umpire bring out a brand new baseball for Kalani Moore. Moore heads back towards the pitcher's mound. As again, Moore takes a look back at second. Comes set. Winds and delivers. In there for strike 3 as Mason Ruhlman goes down on strikes for the second time here tonight. Perhaps the wrong person chosen for the strikeout man of the game. As Garrett Schultz will head back up. Schultz 3 for 4 on the day. Has a base on balls, a strikeout, 3 RBIs. Would love to add 1 more as Preston Moore stands out there on second. Kalani Moore pitches in there for a strike as the Elmira Pioneers lead this one 14-8. As again, Moore looks in, the wind, the pitch. In there for strike 2, Schultz taking all the way. As Schultz base hit away from a 4th RBI in this game. He waits. The wind and pitch. Cut on and missed. Schultz will run down. The throw down to first will move the runner up to third base. He is punched out despite the miss of the tag. He completely missed the tag, and that's what Matt Birch is going to go and tell the second base umpire. Did not like that one. I think the fans ahead of me might have seen that the tag was missed again. As once again, a 14-8 score as we head for the bottom of the 8th. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixlr.com. And with that, the Pioneers are back. Tom Catania back out on the hill. As now, Dylan Sanchez will lead it off here. And the music crowd were not allowed to finish Sweet Caroline, so they're finishing it themselves as now Catania goes back. 1 ball, no strikes. Here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Pioneers continue their streak of answering all the runs that were scored. The wind, the pitch, Ball 2 by Tom Catania as he looks to get the Pioneers through to the 9th inning. Hearing a little razzing of Preston Moore there as he denied the fans tacos. As Catania comes set, delivers, cut on, ground ball towards the shortstop, picked up by Brody Moore, throws across and in time. So 1 quick out here as Sanchez goes 1 for 4 on the day. George Rosales, 1 for 4 on the day, has struck out here tonight. As the Pioneers now 5 outs away from victory. Going to be a tough one for the Pioneers to close this out. Tom Catania certainly having done a good job since coming in from the bullpen. Catania coming set. He looks in. Gets a sign from his catcher. And time is called by the batter. So, Catania steps back on the rubber. Batter back in as Rosales 1 for 4. The pitch cut on. Grounded through the middle of the infield, and Rosales will go 2 for 5 on the day. That'll bring up Drake Smith. Smith 1 for 3. Grounded into a double play, walked, and was picked off well on base. So the guys in the music box working on a new walk-up song as the Lion King remix was not working out too well. So once again, Happy Birthday, the song being played for Drake Smith. They've changed up from the Lion King montage, and we'll see if that improves his ability at the plate. Catania comes set, winds and delivers. In there for a strike, 0-1. So Smith 1 for 3, double play, base on balls, picked off earlier in the game. As now, once again, the wind from Catania. He delivers, swung on and miss, 0-2. Catania 1 strike away from the second out here in the inning. Smith also, as I said, grounded into a double play, so that's on the table as well. Catania has his sign. Comes back set on the mound, checks the runner over at first, and not in time. So Rosales, the catcher, batting in the number 2 hole. A little bit different look for the Watertown Rapids. As again, coming back set, the wind and the pitch. Fouled away there, and we remind you once again, make the right decision, insist on Gerber Collision and Auto Glass. Catania heads back for the mound. Nobody warming in the bullpen, so Catania may be here to finish the 8th and possibly the 9th at this point if the Pioneers can keep the lead. The line, the pitch, cut on, ground ball down towards first, scooped up, thrown over to Catania. He steps on first, and that will do it for Drake Smith as he grounds out. Does advance the runner as that brings up James Crick. Crick 0 for 4 on the night. His last time up, he had the bases loaded and fouled a ball off that Preston Moore snagged and grabbed out of the hopefulness of the fans. As once again, Preston Moore has been disappointing the Watertown fans quite a bit tonight. No tacos, no runs on the bases loaded option. And again, that'll bring up James Crick. So, Catania comes set, winds, delivers, popped up and back. Preston Moore was looking for a chance as that ball will get foul. No balls, 1 strike. So, Moore heads back to third base. Crick looking out as Tom Catania steps back towards the second base as the runner out there trying to make some moves and throw Catania off of his game. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. The pitch low, 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs as Tom Catania trying to get through his second inning of relief here. Catania checks the runner at second, winds, delivers, swung on and fouled away. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs as Catania 1 out, 1 strike away from getting out of the bottom of the 8th. Catania steps back on the mound. Umpire gets some new balls. And again, Catania will come back set. Catania looking in for his sign. He's got the one he wants. Checks the runner back at second. He winds and delivers. Cut on, grounded down the third base line and just foul as Moore watches that one go by. So, more balls to the umpire. Maybe starting a collection out there behind home plate as Catania goes back to work. Looks in, has his sign, checks the runner at second, winds and delivers. Popped up again, and that's going to get foul one more time. So, once again, Catania looking. As again, he's 1 strike away from getting out of the bottom of the 8th inning here. As we are closing in on 9:30. This one chipped off the end of the bat. That's going to get down, and that will score a run. As the throw comes in towards second base, the catch is made, and the tag is not in time. As Brody Moore did not expect that one to catch up on him so quickly. So, Crick gets a hit, gets an RBI as he doubles. 1 for 5 today. As now that'll bring up Vinny DeRubius. DeRubius 0 for 2, 2 bases on balls and a strikeout. As again, we will wait and see what comes of this. Crick standing on second base. The big swing and a miss from DeRubius, 0-1. So Catania trying to get through this inning. As the pitch cut on and hit out there towards left. That play will be made, and that will do it for the bottom of the 8th. The Pioneers go in 14-9 as they head for the top of the 9th inning here at Alex T. Duffy Fairgrounds. All right, Pios fans, one last time up to the dish. The Elmira Pioneers will go to work. We'll see what they can do. As it appears, Kalani Zur gonna have the ball here for the top of the 9th. 14-9, the Pioneers lead. And heading to the dish now, Trey Harmon. Harmon 1 for 5 on the day. However, that 5th at bat proved costly as he hit a home run. Still might not have landed yet. As Harmon comes up. The windup here for Zur. The pitch bounced by the catcher. 1 ball, no strikes. So Harmon, once again, 1 ball, no strikes. As Harmon waits. Zer looking in. Comes back set. He winds and delivers. Cut on by Harmon. Grounded through the split between the shortstop and the third baseman. Harmon will single, and that makes him 2 for 6 on the day. That'll bring up Trevor Henneman. Henneman 1 for 5 today. As Harmon's going to get to take a seat, and that will bring in a pinch runner as heading out. I'm missing my sheet here. As coming in, Zach Turner will pinch run. Trevor Henneman will be the batter. So Turner out at first running. The windup and the pitch. Cut on and popped up. That is going to get out of play and remind you one more time. Make the right decision and insist on Gerber Collision and Auto Glass. As Henneman stepping back in. Trevor looks out. Zer comes back set. The wind, the pitch, cut on, and right to the shortstop, over to second base, thrown to first, and he stays on the base. Double play as Henneman goes 1 for 6, and that'll bring up Bryce Moskowitz. Moskowitz, who's 2 for 4, reached on an error, had a base on balls. And we'll see what he can do here. Pioneers are 3 defensive outs away from a victory. We'll have to see who they may turn to for that victory. Chase Austin looks like he was warming up down there. As now the windup and the pitch. Cut on and popped up. This could be foul as it gets out past the stands out there in right field. No balls, 1 strike. Moskowitz 2 for 4. Reached on an error. Base on balls. Trying to extend the inning. Pioneers have not been held scoreless since the top of the 4th. As that one bounces in. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs. As again. We'll see. Moskowitz looking out. The windup and the pitch. Cut on and driven out towards center. Caught. As we head for the bottom of the 9th, we'll see what the Pioneers do for the pitching as we head to the bottom of the 9th. Pioneers 14, Watertown 9. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixlr.com. All right, so despite my speculation, Tom Catania comes back into the game for a 3rd inning of work. See what he can do as he's going to face Tony Sochi to start things off. 1 for 3, base on balls for Sochi so far. As Catania comes set. He winds and delivers. In there for ball 1, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, 14-9. Pioneers up by 5, excuse me. Wow. The wind, the pitch. In there for ball 2. 2-0. Catania would love to get this one done quickly and get the Pioneers on the way home. The wind and the pitch. Cut on and hit out there towards center. Buffington has a read and makes the catch. 1 down, 2 to go. As again, Jonathan Catapano heads for the plate. 0 for 3, base on balls, reached on an error, struck out, and has an RBI. As Tom Catania looking to make it through the final 9 batters. As we shall see what he can do here. 2 outs away from a victory. Catania in there for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. As again, the Pioneers trying to claim their 2nd victory in a row. Connected on again, out towards left field, and the catch is made. Pioneers down to their final out. 1 for 3 on the day is Danny DeMarza, as the Pioneers hope to close things out right here. As again, Elmira, 1 out away from victory. Last night it was a come-from-behind win. Tonight they have just put the hammer down. 14-9. As Catania winds up, deals, cut on, and strike 1 as Moskowitz hopping around back there took that one off his foot. And again, a flyover here as Catania looking up at the plane flying overhead. He will head back to the mound, making sure he has a good ball. Bounces it. Seems to be one that he likes. Catania comes set. He gets out there on the mound. Looks in. He winds. Connected on. This one hit out towards right center, and that will do it. Quinn Buffington makes the final catch, and the Pioneers win. 14-9 as the Pioneers head for the July 4th game tomorrow against these same Watertown Rapids. See what the Pios can do tomorrow at historic Dunfield. You won't want to miss a minute. I'm John Clement. Thank you so much for tuning in with me here. Pioneers win 14-9. We'll see you tomorrow, Elmira. Good night.